cast it, but it's not marked on your thing either. Maybe it's just a bug.
As Fantasy Grounds does keep track of that. Like it'll say dead when the character is actually dead from death saves. It says dying if they're bleeding out.
No, like it literally said dead.
That says death. Because
it was a crit failure, which counts as 2 fails.
Wait, hold on.
If he had already made one death save, that's what it is. If he already had one death save.
No, he didn't have any, is what it looks like.
Okay, so because if he had one death save already, when you roll a 1, that's a crit failure. It counts as 2 failures.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be death.
Yeah, I now have 2 that failed death saves. Because that was my first death save period, as far as I know.
We'll leave you at 2.
Just take it in terms of the chat. It looks like we don't see other people's death saves by the looks of it currently.
No, you don't even see your death saves.
General getting knocked down as his death save.
Oh shit! I can't even see him, can
I? Ooh. Probably not. What's the other green circle?
Both of those are.
Both the blades, right?
No, 20. No, 20 was the insect plague.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the small one was the thorns, the wall of thorns.
Oh.
And the thorns are facing inwards, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're fine, and we ruled you're just far enough away.
Actually, I don't think there is a facing on those. I think as long as if it's touching you or you try to move through it.
Yeah. Ooh, that is going to be difficult. I would say, hold on. To be fair, because you only got 2 of his attacks.
Now is the time that they want to start acting up.
He's going to make a perception check real quick. Alright, so we'll say for his other 4 actions, or attack actions, he looked around for all of this. There's this wall, you can't see through at all, right? I'm pretty sure.
The thorns?
Yeah. Or like barely at all.
No, I think it's only light. Let me look.
Because Leah's in the middle of this too.
All you hear is orcs dying and Leah laughing.
The wall blocks line of sight. Yes.
Okay.
So you can see through it. It's the insect swarm that's the lightly obscured.
I would say with what he had left of his turn and with the roll he made, he would have turned back and been like, "Someone's injured over here! Quick!"
Stop rolling a new character. No.
All right.
Yeah. Just having some difficulties. My mouse's batteries have decided that now is when they want to die.
Don't you love it? Black circle.
Yeah.
Anyone remember?
Is anyone able to throw a cat at him?
I can try.
That's the spirit, boys. That's the spirit.
I assume she sees the large swarm of people in there.
They nat one it and hit him in the head with the
Is
cat.
Leah in there as well?
Leah's smack dab in the middle, and she couldn't be happier.
Okay.
Well, just in case, my new character stats aren't horrible.
This one's got pretty good stats, though. How many charges are on the rod? I think the rod's not completely full, is it?
Yeah, rod's full. It hadn't been used in a while.
There you go.
However, it's getting there and doing it, which I have something else to put the situation under control for the moment to take it out of danger. I just need my turn.
It's true.
I'm working on it. Every like half second, the batteries want to just like start going out, which breaks the connection.
The orcs have changed your batteries.
It's a wireless mouse. So I have to like keep. The only solution beyond charging it will be, turning it off and on again until eventually. Oh, and apparently I just lost connection to.
Hey, that's standard tech support right there.
Oh,
you try turning it off and on again. Is it plugged in?
That's what my wife says. Like, you just turn stuff off and on again. Oh my god.
Yeah, just hold on a moment. FG decided that it wanted to boot me back to the main menu for some reason.
Let's see.
Back when I was working, I got the nickname of Yoda because just being able to fix on any of the computer, it was always hilarious. Like, okay, somebody comes with a problem, it's doing X, Y, Z. Okay, well, have you done this, this, and this? Yeah, I've done that. Okay, did you try it again? Yeah, I've done it like 4 times. Okay, did you do this? Yeah, I've done that. Go through the game. Okay, let me go look at it. Walk over there. I'm like, and you did X, Y, Z? They're like, yeah. So I reach over, I do X, Y, Z, and it does what it's supposed to. I'm like, okay, fixed. And they're like, I did that like 4 times. I'm like, I know, whatever.
No, that's how it works.
Yeah, I can just walk near one.
Fine.
You're like Yoda.
Yeah, people just
apparently I disconnected a little.
You disconnected.
Rip. Well, apparently I disconnected it a little while ago. So I had moved out my token, started to line up pointers, and then here I am, back where I was.
I was like, you haven't moved much.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Whose black circle is this? I don't remember.
Mine.
I think that's Max's.
What's it from?
My
This
is Aura.
I thought your aura was 10 feet. Or
it is 10 feet.
It is 10 feet.
I don't remember making it that big. But, it should be one size smaller, I think.
There you go.
That is not right.
I was like,
for some reason, this is also 10 feet. I don't understand why.
It's giving you radius.
I don't math.
You're good.
Okay, notice number 10. Nope. There we go. Just fine. Up and over. Mouse, please.
I feel like bright red hair in the middle of just a bunch of dirty orcs. Doesn't the wall do
I see an orc in the
damage
middle of a bunch.
if it gets lit on fire?
It doesn't specify anything.
I thought it said some sort of random ass shit about fire.
Also, that would be if it gets lit on fire.
Oh, are you going out of your element? Quite literally?
Let's see, which ones do I have already kind of set here? Let's see, I think Leo's only... Yeah, I don't think I can do Psychic, though, so... Oh, wait, hold on, can I... it might be Fire, right. They're surrounded by something and then the thorns, right? Or is it just a wall of thorns?
It is just a wall of thorns. You have no line of... You have line of sight because you're above them, so it's a 20 feet tall?
I believe so for the circle one.
I think it is. See, now this is when you guys needed that Ring of the Ram, and you could have just put...
Circle is 20 foot diameter and up to 20 foot high and 5 foot thick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's the gum in the center. Or the Tootsie Pop, depending on your...
I would just center it in there, but I don't want to risk hitting Jason with it. So it's going to have to wave its way through. And I have to double check my metamagics because I don't believe
I do not consent to this fireball.
No.
One of the first games I ever played with Technology fireballed both of us. We were playing, I forget if it was for like Halloween or if it was just, I think it was around Halloween for some reason, I want to say. But we were playing a one shot of like, you're not supposed to be able to beat the levels. And we would have done really well, but our bard was, I'm still not sure what our bard was trying to do to some extent. And then we had a very bad call on invisibility. And then it ended up, we had to be fireballed. And then we were fine.
Yikes.
Yeah, basically, Nobel and I, we were surrounded by mummies, if I recall correctly, and the plan was, okay, they're weak to fire, we're surrounded. I'll just drop a fireball centered on us, burning all the mummies, and then our bard, who's outside of the radius, will cast a heal spell. So fireball, do significant damage to many of the mummies. Instead of the bard casting the heal spell like what he was planning, or what the plan was, he decided, nah, I'm going to take an attack of opportunity to climb this wall.
Interesting.
He walked over into range, then climbed the wall.
One of the other things that happened too, we would have died because we were able to start healing each other back and forth because I was down and then I got a nat 20 on my death save and popped up. And so we finally got to actually get a little bit of defense. And then when we got to the second level, we immediately died.
Yikes.
We stood no chance. There was us in a pit with 8 flame skulls, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Luckily, it was all a dream sequence.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good old dream sequence.
So I can't elemental and careful, so I'm just going to careful. So it will be a fireball. And I'm going to careful it so that Leah automatically passes the saving throw.
So hold on here, though. That wall is pretty thick. And you're casting it outside the wall.
Unfortunately, I have to.
I'm pretty confident it would diminish some of the capability.
Doesn't say it does. I mean, that you can move through it, so a creature can actually walk through it. They just take damage.
That is a good point. It does let you move through it.
And fire is much better at getting into nooks and crannies than people.
Let's see. Yeah, 105. Yeah, I'd say you have a good enough angle on it. So yeah, I'd say you could do it. So you go ahead. You just see the fire rush towards you. Go ahead and target the 3 of them. So who nat 20'd it? The Horde.
The Horde.
Yep. And then get Leah as well. Oh, no, you
ones.
Yeah, Leah will take 10. So
I can just do that in real quick.
If you want to just mark that down yourself, yeah.
Got it.
Ouch.
Way too many 1s and 2s in there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know if the Horde takes bonus damage from being completely covered or not.
Not with their nat 20, no.
A lot of them managed to duck under some of the dead orcs and were covered by
pretty much. They're plugging the walls with the corpses. Actually, within the wall, you do see some of the orcs that were where the wall formed are crushed in the wall, and some of them were rised up with it. It's actually pretty funny looking.
Are looking down, not being pleased with the results, is going to bonus action quicken a firebolt, and she's going to throw it at Orzrom there.
Roll a perception check real quick.
Now we're getting back to normal.
Everything is as it should be.
To be honest, it is very hard to pick Osram out from the horde in this small space.
Fair enough. In that case, I will give you... How many orcs are left in that horde?
Let me see.
Countless, or... Because I remember these ones were smaller numbers than normal hordes, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. I'm just looking for their health total. One sec. There's other random things on here, like your guys' tokens and pets. There they go. There's probably like 20 of them. So 21 including him. 22.
Okay. Is that remaining or total?
Remaining. After your fireball.
Okay. So... Is he notably bigger than the others?
This one not specifically, no.
And in shinier stuff? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And
he has one thing that's different
case,
from them,
I guess.
but not with the 4. Or the 6, sorry.
All right. In that case, Nobel, pick a number between 1 and 20.
Ooh. Do I need to tell you this number?
Ideally.
Oh. I will pick 5. So cool.
Not quite. Who's one of the orcs closer to him?
The one next to him.
Thank God for that large bonus.
Oh gosh. You just watch like a few of them just get knocked down by this firebolt. Each kind of side steps closer to the others.
That is her round.
All right.
I'm going to quickly take the batteries out of my house and put them into the charger. Which means I'm using a trackpad here for a bit.
Yep, Tin Man.
So Nobel.
Uh-huh.
Is my cat with him, or what happened to the cat? Because it snuck in when they were doing his repairs.
What snuck in where?
The mechanical cat. Remember, it snuck into the room when they were building him. So I was wondering if the cat was with him or what happened to it.
Your cat's with you. Isn't your cat your arcane turret?
They're two separate things. I didn't combine them this turn.
I mean, it would have been with you. I would just have assumed you would have had it come with you.
If you'd look closely, you'd see a little cage inside Max's chest, and the cat lives inside it now.
I'd say, toss the cat at the fallen guy.
It's really funny you actually mentioned that, Thayers, because I may have an NPC like that in the future. Long story.
Just what, a cat in a body?
Because I can cast Cure Wounds through the cat.
Yeah, what if I fail?
I mean, unless you specifically left it there, I'd leave it up to you.
Must be a red day.
Yeah, I
So
assumed there were.
question, Nobel. I go up this way through these 3-ish squares.
That is covered in rock.
Yeah.
That's like higher rock. You don't see anything through there right now.
I was told there's a downed person over there, though.
Okay, so you want to climb up it? So it is difficult terrain.
Yeah,
so...
I was going to try and basically... how low is...
So like that one's 5 feet up, and then going to the middle is like another 5, and then another 5 to the top.
Okay. And then I can, let's say, maybe use athletics to propel myself forward, moving the extra feetage to him, if I succeed, that is.
What are you trying to do?
So basically, I'm trying to move the pointer. Where Ari's picture's at is where I'm going to try to jump off the ledge on the tallest rock, and basically, maybe, for a lack of a better term, move 5 free feet in the air towards Jason that I don't know is there yet, but I know he's around that area.
So the only downside is it's going to take more than your movement to get up to where Ari is.
I thought it's just difficult terrain.
About where it says the 105 is going to be 30 foot.
Yeah, exactly.
At the same time.
So you could only get to here. Boop.
Where?
My little 5-foot arrows.
Wait, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to right there.
It's difficult because it's also double movement.
Yeah,
going
so you're
up.
moving through two squares. That bottom one, the first one, and then that next one that's 10 foot or 20 foot total.
Wait, 20?
Yep.
How is that 20 feet?
Difficult terrain.
There's 10 foot.
Oh yeah, no, it's 5 to go right here, and it should be 10, 15 to go right here, right?
Then 25, 30 to go one more.
Yeah.
Which isn't the top.
How is it 25, 30?
Difficult
It
terrain.
might be 25.
Difficult terrain.
No, it counts double.
Double.
Yeah. So 10, 15 to get right here.
Plus you're going corner.
Oh, I hate that stupid rule. Okay. Always confuses the hell out of me.
But, so here's what I'll give you, though.
Okay.
So you can get up to there if you want. So do you have any bonus actions for healing?
Not prepared, no. Which is why I need to get in range to touch him.
So...
That's why I was asking if I can get to right here, basically, or on top of this large oval shape.
You wouldn't even have an action, though, is the downside. So you don't have any action to jump off unless you give up the action you need to heal him.
What about if I make a medicine check? Would that also take an action, or can I use it basically?
Anything that's going to heal him basically is an action. Even if you have a potion, you could take a potion for you as a bonus action, but it takes an action to give him one.
Okay.
Do you have anything that would have increased your movement or other? Well, actually, those are probably actions too, and then they take your spell. Let's see.
Best I can do, I think. Is a death save considered a save?
I'm back, and
yes, it is a save.
It's in the name.
It just doesn't have any bonuses.
Okay. The best I can do is get to there. And so break concentration 1 second as I remove my AC2. The best I can do is get up to, I think it was here you said. I can see him, right?
Roll perception check. He said we've got a little bit, one more level to go.
Mm-hmm.
How tall are you?
It's 6'9".
All right, roll a perception check. You might be able to see him. He's also very rangery. He blends in well with the ground. You get a general area of where he is. Did you drop concentration on the bugs?
Blood.
No, somebody deleted it. I thought you did.
No.
Yeah, it just disappeared. So no, I did not do that yet. I'll put it back.
Hold up. Yeah, because I think you're in bug territory too. Because he's like
I was just on the outside.
No. So like his was like right on Jason almost.
Yeah, it was touching Jason's left side.
No, the bugs weren't because the thorns were. I thought it was. I
No,
thought it was like right there.
Was like,
no, Jason was right in between both.
He was like the little. He's like the cream in the center.
So fuck that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say fuck the bugs. Where my thing go? Can I go up around this way and get eyes on him?
Sure, if you want to.
Yes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
You gotta take the bug damage though.
That's fine. I have plenty of health.
Bugs will also make it difficult to see, but not impossible. I believe it's only light.
Oh no.
It's okay if Jason dies.
Not to them, it's not.
And
hang on before you finish your movement. The area is lightly obscured and counts as difficult terrain.
Oh. So you're not even that far up. Yeah. You gotta go back.
Oh my!
Back like 10 feet.
That's what.
I'm trying to save a man right now.
All right, I'm gonna go get a beer. I'll be back.
Oh my god! I should stay on the freaking rock.
Also, we can't just let Jason die. Gronko would be so upset with us.
Gronkum doesn't know anything.
It just has to go to my turn, and I got it taken care of. Unless the GM says no, you can't do that.
Paul Volodov to Korea.
Wait to get back, see if I see them, because these rocks next to me, from my knowledge, are just 5 feet tall. Am I right?
That one I'm not sure. I know that the ones where you were jumping were 5 foot, then 5 foot more than 5, so like 15 foot total and stair stepped.
Basically, this one's 5 feet.
That's either 5 or 10. I don't know how he's got it viewed.
So that one I think is 5 feet. The one right here is like 15, like 5, 10, and this one's 15 in height. That is.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Do I have eyes on Jason from this position? Because are these rocks 5 feet tall right here?
So that right there. So the tallest rock there is 10 feet tall. The other thing to keep in mind, like Thera said, it is lightly obscured. So if you want to roll a perception check at disadvantage, real quick, free action, free.
I'm trying to save my mana, and this is just so difficult. Oh,
I know.
damn, it's meant to be.
I mean, you can use the rocks as your guide. You don't specifically see Jason, though. So you know where he should be, but you're going to have to kind of like work your way and use that as your guide to kind of get over there until you get closer and maybe you can see him.
So I cannot cast Bless on him.
Unfortunately, no.
Good luck, Jason. I tried.
We got a lot of people still.
Yeah.
Leah's going to kill him on accident.
Oh, no.
Just go boom.
I'm gonna cone these nerds.
He looked orcish, I swear.
Well, after she disguised him as an orc, of course. It was her master plan all along.
Really,
You
Leah,
got me.
guys.
Yeah, we still all look like orcs, don't we?
Definitely
yeah.
still playing
Except for
the
Tanya
character.
and Ari, which both look like goblins. Although Ari, a weird winged goblin with a tail, but...
No, so how it works, those are still there.
Well,
they
also
can't
remember,
see them.
they have to have the same... Well, no, the illusion requires them to have the same number of limbs and appendages.
Doesn't count wings and all that. That's talking about like if you're a four-legged creature versus like a bipedal creature. So you still look
wings and the tail.
So your wings, because this is how I've seen this numerous different times, and this is how most people call it. They're there. You can use them. They just don't see them. If you go to inspect them, you can touch them.
It's an illusion, just like disguise self. Any clothing or excess or added stuff or stuff that's been hidden is still all there. But
yeah, you just look like a weird flying goblin right now. Although you look like an awkward little bat. You should have. I might have to think about this.
it does make specific notes.
I would say I would leave that as a creative element of the caster as a choice. So whoever casts seeming can make that choice.
I killed the boss.
Oh God!
I coned him.
Doesn't cone push too? Don't you push him into that wall?
Cone pushes, it makes him go prone. 20 feet.
All right, so Ferris, wall of thorns on the horde too.
Hang on. I've got so much shit on my actions tab now.
Stop sucking
You
souls.
just side blast the boss into the wall, and he's just impaled on the wall now.
I think this is one of the first fights where you've even got a chance to use a couple of your different tools that you've not got to use yet.
Yeah.
The horde.
He was at
Osram
0.
still an impact.
He's just like stuck in that wall.
No, the horde.
Yeah, you got to drop it on the horde as well.
Oh.
Because the horde's going back too. It's a cone spell she cast. Yeah. So I'll say just for creative fun.
Oh, holy shit, that was a good roll.
Without killing Jason, you kind of just blast out this psychic energy, and it just shoots all of them into the thorn wall. And you just watch as they all kind of stick there and don't move as the vines kind of like start slowly wrapping around them.
The camera pans and you see a puree come out the other side of the thorns.
You guys do hear the sounds of bone snapping slowly. Like every time you hear it. We are still going to stay in combat for the sake of saving our buddy. Because time is of the essence. So you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Your orcs are now dealt with. What else do you want to do, Leah?
Can you get rid of the orcs that can't move?
Fine.
Please. Thank you. Well, I dust my hands off. Very satisfied. Do I know he's down? I don't remember.
You can't see.
Don't think so.
I think I saw you go down, because that was before the thorn wall went up.
Yeah, because you guys were next to each other for a few rounds of combat anyways. You were within close proximity, so you know he's over there.
Well, if Jason went down before the thorn wall, then Jason is dead.
The thorn wall didn't touch you, though.
Yeah, but that means Jason failed at least one death save. Before the nat one.
No, I think you passed it, though. I think it's fine the way it is right now, because right now it's going to be difficult enough for them to get to you. So if they get there, I'm all for it.
I suppose just look on the front of your sheet. How many of the death saves were checked?
Nothing was checked. I'm pretty sure you had a successful death
Not
save.
even a save.
That means it hadn't got around to your turn.
Empty.
It automatically checks those in as they happen. So
we're only on turn 3.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, the combat was there was so much stuff. It was taking forever. It may seem like it took like 9 rounds. It was like, nope, that was round 1.
Yep. So you may be fine anyways.
I guess I'll just call out, Theris, you can drop the thorn wall.
What? Decoya. Oh. Has a lot more hit points now because I forgot her ASI. She's beefy.
She beefy.
She got 147 hit points now.
Where'd all that beef come from?
I gave her a +2 to her Constitution, which brought her to 20. And then I also gave her
score improvements.
Change her name to Wendy's because there's the beef.
Yep. Does she have anything to help in this scenario? Oh no. Nope. Does she have that though? It's not that fast.
Everyone always trying to rescue the down people, stealing my thunder. What the hell?
How much damage does it go through the thorn wall?
Thornwall does like 78.
Oh, fuck that. I was like, I'll just run through it twice. Nope. So that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, fuck that. Yeah, watch this, boys and girls. All right, so 5, 10. Going under Ari, 15, 20.
Yeah, Ari is definitely not impeding.
25, 30, getting off. Guess who has a potion of healing?
Good girl.
She kind of picks you up. That's what you get for being 3/4 human. Pops it up, pours it down your throat. Go ahead and roll. Do you have it coded? If not, there's a spell for it in the.
No, I don't.
I think
it's 2d4 plus 2, honestly.
I'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got one coded if you want me to drop it on him.
I got him. She actually had it pre-coded. Good girl. So you regain 7 hit points as you wake up in the arms of the much larger Takoya. And then she drops you. Get up. That's her action. She didn't really do anything as bonus, so she's going to remain there. There's.
I won't do what I was going to do. I was just going to have Ben swoop down and deliver a what's the damn name here?
Cure wounds.
No, the Spare the Dying, because it's a touch spell, and I can deliver touch spells through my familiar. So
there you go.
I'm just gonna have him dive down and do it, and it's like, okay, cool, finish everything off, but we're good, and I cease concentrating.
All right, and at this point, we're out of combat now because everything's dead. So
Ara's gonna fly down and land beside Leah. She's gonna put her hands on her hips and poke her with the tail, giving her a disapproving glare.
Well, I suppose we've had our fun, and I'll drop spell.
Yeah, please don't do that again.
No promises.
Alistair just kind of like takes his seat on the rock and just kind of takes a breather for a minute.
Jason heals himself.
I say, did we ever decide if I was able to steal like the spirit or the spirit guardians or the whatever the hell the druid one is, the hokey pokey one?
Which one?
The one where you can step in it, the spirit guardian.
No, not for that one yet. Okay. Unfortunately, only whatever is on the staff. I don't think it's on the staff.
No, that's a druid spell.
Yeah, I gave you all the staff ones instead.
Ari's
That's
going
basically
to.
what he is. He's the activator.
Ari will take to the sky again, probably staying about 20 feet in the air, and she's going to look around for Kern, or at least the area that the crystal ball revealed that Kern was looking from.
Sure, roll a perception check.
Hang on. People are starting to throw healing stuff. Hang on before y'all do that. I would have gathered everybody around, and I would have cast Beacon of Hope first.
Beacon of Hope is fun.
Which means all your healing spells are max. And I will also throw, since I can concentrate twice, I will throw up the Aura of Vitality too, so I can start healing people.
Oh God!
That's awesome. That's 12 hit points per.
You guys just watch there. It's just like glow with divine energy as everyone just starts like healing.
Of course, I can only do it on one person at a time.
Like you just slowly watch as all of your wounds are slowly fading away. Ari, you don't recognize this place at all.
Okay.
This does not appear to be, at least from what you currently see, the place that you guys had seen.
She'll circle around 2 or 3 times just to be sure, and then she'll land back with the others.
Why did that not do max? I clicked the max button. I guess that only works for damage.
That sucks.
I'd like to check over Osram to see if he has anything fun. Documents, etc.
Sure, roll an investigation check.
There's a recommendation if the max thing doesn't work, just create a second healing effect for each of your healing spells.
Yeah, I can just flat value. Right. I would have already had that done, but I thought the max would work.
Yeah, I'd assumed it would have as well.
I had to get out the red book.
Is that the evil book?
Mm-hmm.
Are any of them not the evil book?
Okay. So he is currently carrying what appears to be some sort of battle axe. A bit bigger looking than the typical.
Is it magical?
Do you activate your eyes?
Yes.
Oh yeah. And there's also a magic beat coming off his pocket, which you go to check. There is an idol. Pull that up really quick. Where did it go? I know it's here. Where did it go? Double check something because this would be way cooler. It would be way cooler. Okay. So what you see, you retrieve the item from the pouch.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like this, but more hairy.
More hairy. Interesting.
Like if it were covered with hair. I think you get where I'm going with this without having to say it aloud.
Now, what could an object like that possibly be for?
The axe, I don't think I have a picture for, but I do have a card for it.
Okay, there's my 10 rounds of healing. Or 1 minute of healing.
Yeah, you got the time. You're good. You guys cleared the camp.
And anybody else that cast a healing spell during that 1 minute was at max, so if adjust is needed.
Why I feel like... What am I... I'm an idiot. I'm looking for an axe in the fucking NPC section. Like, where is it? Why are you not here?
So the axe is sentient.
You never know. Do I have a picture? No, I do not. Okay. So the axe, it's dark, kind of a rust-colored metal. You have detect magic. So yeah, the figurine kind of gives off a conjuration aspect. The axe gives off a necrotic aspect.
Interesting.
Oh, I will drop those wherever you would like. I'll just throw them in yours for now. Boop.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Boop. You can identify them when you can.
So, Ariel Land. Guys?
Yes?
I don't think this is the right camp.
That's unfortunate.
What do you mean this is not the right camp?
It's like the one from your paw.
Is the boss's soul
I
completely
assumed
left
that
the
was-
area?
You can check it out. Roll D100.
So was that Takoya saying that, or was that the Lord saying that?
No, he's still just chilling out, taking a rest.
Nope.
Okay. Then yeah.
It's been a killer week for him.
I would assume that's a no.
It seems to have already passed. This one does also, from what you see, Leah, he seems to have a lot more ornamentation than the rest. You gather this one probably held some sort of more significant rank. How high you don't know though. I think you have a ranger though, specializes in orcs, don't you? Mr. Jason.
I think our ranger also knows exactly which rank said big orc was.
Yes, yes, you do have that.
Oh,
But Jason hasn't been asked. Jason is kind of sulking right now.
so what do you guys want to do?
Arya will turn to the strange lord who was identified as which particular lord again?
This is Alistair Cross. So this is the guy in charge of Gangcaster's armies. This is the guy who went missing during the pre-campaign.
Okay. Lord Cross, what brings you to these parts?
Oh, just out for a leisurely stroll in the moonlight. And he kind of just like stretches his back until he kind of like pops up and he's like, ah. It's like,
Through orc camps? An odd walking destination?
these are my lands, not theirs. I have all the rights. He's like, actually, I'm looking for a missing party. If you haven't seen any, and he kind of like he describes Ron. He has no idea who you guys are, but basically he describes her to a T. Like, have you seen anyone matching that description?
He describes who?
Lorana Cross, his little sister, the rogue that you guys were with earlier, before you burnt down their house.
We didn't break down that house.
Man, that's a long time ago.
I imagine you've probably seen her more recently than we have. It's been a while since I've seen her at all.
He kind of looks at her, like, I haven't seen her in quite some time, but word is she was coming through here to deliver a message and has been missing for a few days.
Unfortunately, I've not heard anything of the sort.
Well,
We haven't seen her or heard news of her in maybe a year now?
Yeah, probably about for you. Most of you. And he kind of looks at, and then I'm assuming I ran into a similar issue as you. I'm assuming these orcs may have something to do with it.
Do we still look like orcs?
Great numbers. What's that?
Did we drop the illusion, or we still look like orcs?
I dropped it, yeah.
Okay.
Arya will look around at the trees. Lorana, you around?
Croft, do you know anything that's going on
No, she
with the
wasn't
city?
here.
What's happened?
He goes, no, actually, I've been dead. He's like, but I've been back for about a week now.
I'm getting better.
I'm not quite up to myself, but no, I've returned home to the manor. We've actually been trying to figure out what to do about the situation south of here. He goes, unfortunately, it seems that the orcs either have seen that this is an opportunistic time, or there's something more foul at work here, though. We were planning to strike the capital in the middle of the night with as many people as we could to try to get in. But unfortunately, now it looks like we have to contend with Might of the Mountain.
You said you came back from the dead. How did that happen?
He goes, actually, a funny story. Some of our soldiers actually managed to recover my body, and through the guidance of one of my old mentors, was able to actually resurrect me.
That must have been a harrowing experience.
Actually, I don't remember any of it. I just woke up.
Who's your mentor? Maybe I know them.
Oh, Sir Astral, have you heard of him?
Have I?
You have. He, so that was the guy who is the leader of the pre-campaign. He was in the
also
delve.
the guy that we were. He was also the guy we were getting the equipment for in Gamecaster that we didn't end up going to get the equipment of.
Is he the guy that made children stab me?
No.
Oh.
Who made children stab you? This
Who
sounds
was it?
familiar.
I don't remember.
Who has it?
Oh no! That was
Sounds like some
over
evil
on
Theris would have you do.
the offshore continent thing. No, that's totally different. Totally different.
Okay. I don't remember who messaged me. Someone messaged me.
That's
I fell
fine. It
for
sounds
it.
like
That
evil
was
Anyway,
him.
Theris.
carry on.
That was him. He did message you. He's the one who
Okay.
tried to have you meet the contacts because he
Yeah,
was
so it
reaching
was
out.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Is
messaged
my orphan
a
assassins.
few of you from time to time.
Children attack.
Yeah, he's the one. You actually had a mission, so he didn't give you the mission to go find the armor. Your mission was to find the armor and see if you could find the location of Sir Astral because he's gone missing. There's roll medicine
Lord.
check too.
Well, Lord Cross, I suspect these orcs may be in league with the cult as well.
Yes, very unsettling indeed. Because I'm afraid the area is not safe here. I'm assuming you must have come from Morrow.
She nods.
Do you live there?
No. We
Okay.
have business to attend to there, but we're currently looking for a friend of ours who has been abducted by these orcs.
Yes, well,
We have reason to believe that he'll be rather beneficial in the aid of Marrow.
well, I wish you luck. I must go warn the townsfolk. And I must call for aid. I don't know if they'll make it in time, but good luck. And if you do find...
It's warning them of the orcs. I think they're quite aware of it already.
No. Not... There's more coming. And he kind of points you up the ridge towards where the mountains kind of come down. It's like I counted about 2,000 heading this way slowly. They could be here.
2,000 orcs?
Not just orcs. And hold on, let me get the book. He goes. They had trolls and ogres in their ranks. Orcs, wargs. There was a woman among them as well. And some strange-looking orcs as well.
Any flyers?
Because, yes, unfortunately, they did have a few Wyvern riders. I didn't have a bow, so I decided best to avoid those.
And how long will it take them to cross the ridge to get here?
As well, the interesting thing, they were towing siege equipment. I'm not 100% sure how they even managed to get a hold of siege equipment, but it is slowing them down at least. If they're moving at the same pace from when I found them, maybe about 12 to 16 hours, depending.
And an odd choice to bring siege equipment. If I recall, Marrow has rudimentary makeshift walls at best.
And he kind of looks over to you. He's like, I don't believe their final target is Morrow.
Any narrow canyons they have to go through or ridges?
he kind of pulls out a little map for you, which kind of outlines a lot of the ways into the mountain. The most easy and direct access into kind of like the heart of the Northern Territory is kind of coming through this swamp. There's alternative routes, but they go through many more of the more heavily fortified and garrisoned across cities. So by the time they actually drag their armies around, their losses would be much more significant, where this is kind of, I mean, there's probably like 600 people in Morrow.
Try and march siege equipment through a swamp.
There's parts of the swamp that are supported too. And there's a lot of them.
They're coming through a swamp and not a ridge on a mountain.
They're coming down from mountains. They kind of go into like a more forest and then it turns into a swamp.
Ah, okay. So no ambushing in the mountains.
Do you want to go on the offensive? Maybe. But there are some... there are a lot of tribes in the mountains. But 2,000 coming directly soon is definitely not good. Because from what you recall, in Morrow, if you had to estimate, who's the most like passively perceptive person we got?
Probably me.
What's your passive perception?
19.
As you kind of just, were moving in about this town and you were helping heal and kind of bandage up some people when you had time, there's probably, from what you guys saw of like the men-at-arms that kind of had armed themselves and were defending the city the best they could because those professional soldiers weren't helping, there's maybe 80 of them. There's about 200 of the soldiers, which were essentially just protecting like the city hall component and the people inside there. If you had to guesstimate, probably about 400 citizens outside of those soldiers.
Any mages?
They're a small town. So they have a city council. There's a few more prominent members of the town, but this is not like you're in an adventuring town. This is where all the Anis were, which, by the way,
Don't mind me.
I will point out, you guys never did resolve and finalize that situation either.
And it is no longer our problem.
Let's tell Cross about the nobility abandoning the people to their fate.
You tell him?
Yeah.
Who wants to tell him?
Jason will.
Okay. So you mentioned just roll a persuasion check.
Ooh.
He kind of looks over to you guys. He's like, do you intend to protect the town?
We'll do what we can, but we need to find this person first.
We would
Just
have,
by the name of Kern.
and we'd have better success at protecting the town if we had the trained soldiers instead of just the.
Oh, he's looking dead on at you right now, Jason. He's just asking if you're going to protect the town.
Protecting the town will be my goal. But there are.
You watch as he takes a chain that's holding something up under his armor, and he just breaks the chain off, tosses it at you.
I will catch it.
It is a family signet that, oddly enough, it's a cross, but it's kind of like wrapped with silver thorns in a rose. It goes, show them this, and any true citizen of the Empire will come to your aid.
Jason nods and tucks it away.
He goes,
Speaking of aid, who do you intend to call?
he goes, well, I can't call anyone. I intend to ride back to the keep and assemble my troops. He kind of looks at you guys. Yes. Things are difficult right now. There's many moving pieces, and we're trying to protect the whole of the empire. There's foreign assets that may be trying to procure our western territories. So we've sent the majority of our troops to take it. We've heard that their troops have moved away south, and there's only about 2,000 troops remaining. So we've sent 20,000 troops to take their capital. Unfortunately, they were dispatched 2 days ago. We only have 8,000 soldiers remaining. If our intelligence is accurate, which it should be, there's anywhere up to about 50,000 orcs combined between the tribes of the mountain. If they are all gathered and rallied indeed, like you've noticed, and something more foul is at work, we may not be able to hold them all. But if I can get our troops here in time, maybe we can bottleneck them and hold them off until help can arrive.
If we are unable to hold them off, where's our fallback position?
He kind of thinks, because you probably won't be able to hold off the incoming force. And honestly, the city may just be best left to use for traps and combat, and I would worry less about that. I would try to get the citizens out of the town. My family has an old manor, a walled manor, north of the city, about 2 hours.
Question: how long ago was it that you were resurrected?
About a week ago.
Have you been to the manor at all?
Not in some years, maybe 8 years or so, but it's sturdy. There's many buildings. It's got a wall.
I don't know how sturdy it is currently.
Roll a history check, all right? Oh my god, if we do end up going back there, I have to fucking find that little gnome caretaker's name. I love that little guy.
Well, Ari was thinking of the exact same thing he was. Potentially evacuate the town to the manor.
So from what you would remember, Ari, while the main manor itself, the probably is destroyed, and like their servant house was destroyed, there were still many structures. Like it was like almost like a tiny little town of itself.
Wasn't the main gate knocked down?
No, well, the main gate was, but you don't know. It could have been repaired, but it did have walls. Where the city of Morrow itself has absolutely nothing. Other than that, because he's been here his whole life, he kind of describes the only other location out of the city, which it has gated walls, but they'll provide some measure of protection, east of the manor, only about an hour and a half north of town, is the graveyard.
That would not be good for morale. I don't think people want to evacuate with their safe haven being a tomb.
Because there is one other potential possibility. But timing would be difficult.
Is there catacombs at the graveyard?
There are some, yes. He pulls out a map. So you see the village of Morrow, you see kind of where the manor is, and you see where the graveyard is further up north. And then you see a crossing that is marked on the river, which is strange because this is a very large, wide river that feeds into the lake where the Hag Island is. You see that crossing?
Mm-hmm.
Early in the morning, at about 6 a.m., to 8 a.m. The tides lower from the inlets, and that path is crossable. Like, that could get them connected and out, but if there's orcs coming from the main path as well, I mean, we could be sending them in a worse position.
If this
Then
entire
it
region
sounds
is
like-
to fall, where do you plan to make your stand?
We'll continue to the capital. Crossmanor's more central to the north. Probably about a day and a half away.
I think evacuating people to the manor would at the very least keep them out of harm's way should this group of orcs come through Marrow. Unless they're looking for the people specifically, they should be unharmed and just pass by. Any kind of ambush from forces could happen there as well.
He just kind of looks. He's like, the downside is if we don't hold them, they have a direct path in towards the capital.
Tanya's going to turn to him. So, how much of the town is sacrificed? How important is the town itself?
He goes, as any good ruler should tell you, it's the people that are important. Buildings can be rebuilt.
I do agree we might want to booby trap the town. We might be able to take out a good chunk of them with it.
And any soldiers that are there and any volunteers from the town will help us to slow the horde down.
Just by what time you can. Like, I will return. It's like, and I will just say, I would rather stand with our own soldiers any day over that of any orc. Like, don't lose spirit, my friends, and if I manage to find this ranger friend of yours on my way back, I'll be certain to set him free and point him in the right direction.
So, Nobel. Quick question about the town.
Sure.
So, how large is the town itself? And
So I decided, for the sake of this, to be nice. This is not exactly how the town looks like, but close enough. So for the sake of protecting the town, if you wish to do so,
and second question, because of my background, my character would actually have military knowledge, right?
at one point, I believe so.
Because of the parents and mercenaries.
This is the makeshift battle map for the city of Morrow. So they would be coming from the south.
Oh, so they would have to come through all those fields. How deep's that? How deep's that river?
City Hall and the more nice grounds. Actually, so hold on one sec. Let me point you a few things. I'm putting the wrong area. Let's see. Oh, that was wrong button.
What season is it currently?
Right now?
Yeah, what's fall, winter, spring, summer?
You're not 100% sure, actually. You've only been back a couple days. If it's what you think it should be, it would be about maybe late winter.
Okay, so no crops out.
Not really, no. Let's see.
I have the same question at Darkhead. How deep is that river going through right to left?
You would probably have to find out. You may not know that intimate detail. So, City Hall and their compound is basically here.
Is that bushes around it, or is that a wall?
That's walls. There's bushes, but there's walls as well. The guard barracks is here. The tavern, actually, sorry. Nope, that's that one. The tavern where Nicodemus is buried.
Where he was buried.
It's about right here. Just for relative points. There are some makeshift barriers. There's nothing south of the river. The makeshift barriers that the men-at-arms have put are like north of the two bridges.
Okay, good.
What are those bridges made out of?
Wood.
So that's straight up wood. Okay. Was there a blacksmith and
If he's still alive, yeah.
there's a blacksmith or an potion or alchemy in the town?
Maybe. You'd have to see who's still here. Because what you have to remember, this town at its peak is about 800. For Theris' pretty accurate estimates, according to Theris, which the voice in his head would agree, probably pretty accurate. He only estimated about 400, not including the soldiers. So a little bit over that.
And I'm guessing the garrison itself has no siege equipment.
No, they don't have any type of siege equipment here. Like the barracks literally houses probably on average maybe 30 permanent people. They probably have more people that are called up in times of need. And then more of those soldiers could just be private guards as well.
How far?
Alright, I'll turn to Lee and Theris and go, I'll see if I can't get Soren to lend us some kind of aid.
Is this map what we remember, or is there like does the this guy have a map of the city right now in front of us?
This is the map we're going to use for planning purposes. If we defend the city. If we don't defend the city, you don't have to worry about it at all.
I want to play. I want to help defend the city.
Hey, no, but how far away is that cliff from that road?
Hold on one second.
Is it in bow range?
And this is the area where Rat Theris took off with a child.
No, that is actually in a different location.
Yeah, I played Sly in the pre-campaign.
He's the reason Madeline is
The
alive.
mysterious rat man.
Rat Theris.
Madeline is the little girl that he saved.
And as far as we know, she's still alive. Or
Which
at the very
Yeah,
least,
the
we
one
hope.
off to the
We
east?
ran into the parents, right?
That's probably... That's a chunk of distance there, buddy.
So that's outside bow range?
I mean,
Yeah.
unless you got some sort of crazy-ass bow that I don't know.
Well, you see,
I'm sure there's a
Jason
way to
does.
do it.
Jason,
But no, that's
gotta
probably
see.
like almost a mile, maybe a little bit less.
I just wanted to check what distance we have.
Maybe like half mile.
Um,
Hard to say.
Max is going to suggest that one, you destroy one of the two bridges and hold off that choke point, and two, position guards along the river in case they try something sneaky, either crossing or trying to build a bridge across, while still defending the one bridge.
Yeah, we need to first find out how deep it is and a couple other things.
That's true, depending on how deep the river is.
So,
It looks pretty deep.
before we get
There's
to
a
that,
boat.
though, what are we doing in the short term? Are we heading back to the town, or are we going to try to turn in a different location? What's our plot here?
Jason's heading back to town.
I'll join them.
I am pretty tapped.
yeah.
Yeah, Tanya will go back.
Yeah, I've still got all my 4th, 1/5, 2 second, and 3 first. I'm out of 6th and 3rds.
Sequoia just looks
So I'm good
extremely
with either
depressed
way.
at the moment, and just kind of sits down for a second.
I'll go over
Head
and
over, sit
heal.
down beside her, and put an arm around her.
I think we only need 2, maybe 3 people to return to the town to begin the defenses. Everyone else can go find Kern and anyone else that might not live anywhere near the town to bring in its defenders.
She goes, no. He'll be okay.
I can go with you, Takoya. I still have access to several tricks, and I know how to move quietly. If I can go with you if you want.
She just kind of sits there. Let's see. She just kind of looks. She's like, we should return. He would want us to protect the people.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I feel that he's okay. Pretty
Martin
crafty.
nods.
She just kind of puts the sword back on her shoulder.
I want to go
Well, I
over and
believe
give
we
her a
have
hug.
time. To
We're
do
not
a
even
cursory search.
We're not even sure where he is at this time. Every hour we waste looking for him is an hour we will waste losing prep. I'll make them pay dearly for what they've taken from me. A much cooler accent.
Mm.
All right. So you guys go back? Or is there anything else you want to do?
Just as we're leaving, turn to Cross.
Any-
Alistair Cross, I hope you find your sister.
We're at the orc camp still, right?
Yeah.
Do they have any storage or anything around here?
Roll investigation check.
No, I'm always searching for that. One other thing. There is a very important person currently at Marrow.
He just kind of looks at you. Kind of just curious, doesn't
Very
fully get your meaning.
important.
Okay. It's like, well, I'm passing through, so
Look for the very large fellow. He should be with him.
large fellow. Okay. I'll be certain to drop in. He doesn't fully get your meaning, but he understands that it's important. He just kind of watches you
Yeah,
kind
she
of
doesn't want to
starts
just
jogging
straight
off.
out say, "Hey, we have the prince over here," in the middle of enemy territory. And as we start, or
Alright, so he starts back. What are you guys doing?
We should
believe
gather
Tanya
any
was-
weapons that are still viable to use so we
Yeah.
can hand them out to anyone who is not armed back in
Uh,
town.
Okay.
I'm looking for any storage facility or anything like.
They do have a bit of general weaponry. They have actually, interestingly enough, you go and you find, because you rolled a 20, not a natural 20, but you rolled a 20. There are crates, and you kind of pop one open. They have very nicely packaged weapons. There's swords. There's not a lot of armor, but weapons.
Tanya's the one that found this, you said?
Yeah, as you guys are all kind of finding this, there's some crossbows, there's some bows, there's things of arrows and bolts. You also find a small box that has about 20 little vials of purple liquid.
Can Tanya tell what it is?
I mean, what do you want to do to find out what it is?
Any
Don't
arrows?
trust the bad juice. Don't trust it.
I almost want to say taste test.
And it's up to you. You tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what to roll. This is the fun of D&D. I'll link right with your one second.
Can I use Arcana? Can I tell if it's like a potion, or
Here. I mean, taste testing would certainly determine many things.
all right? Tanya's gonna take a little pinky.
Are you gonna pop one open?
Yeah, I'll pop it open, but I'll take like little pinky. You know how it is. Dip it in. Put a drop on my tongue.
Kind of touch it to your tongue. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw real quick.
Good roll.
Dang.
Thank goodness. You gotta sit there. It's got like a sweet aftertaste to it. And your mouth just feels kind of like warm and relaxed. But that's about it.
Like a numbing relax, or
Not even like a numbing, just like a little like muscle relaxing almost. Like you just feel a little at ease in your face.
I have an idea what this is now.
Nuh-uh. It's not any type of chemical you'd be familiar with. You wouldn't use any type of... It's probably like alchemy, if you had to guess. Of some sort. What materials, though, you're not 100% sure.
Alchemy. What do I have that would fall under that?
You should have a lot of crazy shit when it goes to that. See you, buddy.
Can I use identify to actually find out what it is?
You can certainly try, yes. Do you have a pearl?
Sorry, let's go through our pockets.
I know someone has a pearl. I just don't remember who. We probably have a few pearls at this point.
Realize she doesn't have a pearl on her. She's gonna yell, "Anyone got a pearl?"
What do you need a pearl for?
I want to see if I can identify this liquid.
Can I see it?
Sure.
Yeah, alright, I'll head over as well.
You watch as Koya grabs it, kind of sniffs it.
It
and
really relaxes you.
She looks at it really, really hard, and you watch her eyes shift as it changes into its other form. She's going to blow her once-a-day use of Identify. She goes,
I assume also the liquid looks very similar to a strange purple liquid we've discovered before.
no.
No?
It's actually a different purple liquid.
Oh. They just happen to use a lot of purple liquids.
This one's like much darker, almost to like a black extent. Like purplish black. Like it's getting pretty dark. And she looks at she's like, it's some sort of... It overflows with demonic energy. Like, you drank this?
Yeah, tasted it.
It looks like it has some sort of effect. Some sort of combat enhancer, maybe?
Now, when you say demonic, do you mean devil
Like
or
demons.
demon?
So, not anything that we should give to people.
No, probably not. I imagine it probably makes them blood crazed.
I'd have two nickels. That's awesome.
So does she actually say exactly what it does? Like, out of character?
No, she doesn't even fully understand. She gets most of it. But there's some parts of this, because it's more of a demonic aspect, that aren't necessarily fully everything that she's identifying. There's elements of it that are missing that she just doesn't quite understand. That, and while she does have the ability to see things, she doesn't really have a great understanding of things.
Okay.
We're still having a wisdom and intelligence of 9.
Okay, Tanya's just gonna pack the case away.
Just out of
Actually-
random curiosity, while Takoya is holding said vial, Ari will put her hand near the vial and see if it reacts at all.
Hold on a second. I don't like how they changed some of the messaging things. I've almost sent messages wrong so many times. Alright. What was your question again? Sorry, I was responding to a message.
I said, while Takoya is holding and examining the vial, Ari's just gonna put her hand close to the vial to see if any reaction occurs.
Her hand close to the vial. No,
Mm-hmm.
no reaction.
Okay.
Is it flammable?
You can certainly try. And
Sure.
how much of this weaponry were you wanting to pack up? Like, how many of these materials? Because you guys are on foot.
As
I
many
can
as you
carry 1,000 pounds, so I stack up as many boxes as I can carry. Use the ring to carry it with us.
Just because you can carry 1,000 pounds doesn't mean it makes it very easy to balance and do other things while carrying 1,000 pounds.
I am going to do
Well,
my
she's doing it
best.
via telekinesis.
Okay. Well, downside though, can't you only do one item at a time with telekinesis or no?
Yeah, so I'm going to stack them and carry the bottom one.
Well, now, what are we trying to carry? How much is this?
Crates.
How much do you want? So in total, I'd say there's probably, we'll just say there's probably enough weaponry to equip about 60 to 80 individuals here. Combination
So
of
that's
shields,
what?
swords, crossbows. So we're probably talking like, there's probably like 30 crates of weapons here.
Okay, so
probably only
more than
300
12
pounds of
cubic
weapons.
foot.
You also notice one other thing too, as you guys are going through all this stuff. The same logos are on all of the crates.
Is it
Do
an eye?
we recognize that?
Roll history or religion checks. If you're proficient.
Well, I guess I won't be real. I take it then it's not an eye.
It's not an eye now. I haven't seen this before, Theris, unfortunately. Anyone else proficient? Religion?
Nope.
History?
I can always
Okay, man.
pretend to be proficient in either history or religion. But
I'm pretty confident the Koi is not proficient in either.
What do I need to be proficient in?
History or religion? Max has gotta be religion, right? Nope.
probably really.
I have a high history, but it's not proficient.
Yeah, you gotta be proficient, unfortunately, for this one. It's like
While they're
Max isn't proficient in religion.
nope.
A paladin that is not proficient in religion.
It happens.
it's James' character. It doesn't surprise me too.
She
Did
played
we
a
have a,
bard that wasn't proficient in performance.
did we have a bard that wasn't proficient in performance?
That was his too. That's a good one.
While they're
Your
looking through the
ranger is
weapons and
proficient.
deciding the best way to stack them with the weapon crates, Ari's gonna look around to see if she can see a war tent.
Any barrels in there that we found with the weapons?
There's some like general food supplies. Other than that, though, there's not really any tent set up yet. There is probably, if you go through some of the chokers, there is other materials like rope. There are some like makeshift tents. But you get the feeling it doesn't look like they intend to stay in this location for very long.
I imagine there would still be like a war tent area. War tents aren't too difficult to set up. It would just be, a big
You
over
get the
tent with a
feeling
table.
they
And,
probably just got here recently and have not even set up anything yet.
Mm.
They're one of the advanced forces.
Jason, were
have
you
the
going
king
to
of-
share any of the information you learned of Osram, or no?
Not at this time.
Okay. All right. So you guys gather up pretty much what you have of the materials. Did you want to take any of the rope or the food?
Yeah, Tanya will take a bunch of the rope.
All
Food
right.
is more
So
important when we're trying to
Say
feed
if we
the
need
town.
also, I can use my secure chest to take 12 cubic foot of stuff.
I would say you're able to bring it all back between all of your combined shenanigans. It probably takes you a good 3 hours because you're about 2 hours out from town. But you do manage to bring back some of the supplies. This is actually, it's decent quality. It's not like +1 equipment, but it's decent grade weaponry, especially for orcs that tend to have more simplistic weapons and more rugged builds.
Okay. As we're on our way back to town, Ari will be flying and she's going to pull out the mirror and see if she can't get into contact with Soren.
Sure, roll a D100.
I get the feeling 57 is not what I wanted to roll.
You see a picture of Soren appear in your mirror. And it looks like it's some sort of pre-recorded message. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm currently off the plane right now. I'll be out of range for a given amount of time. If there's an emergency, young lady, feel free to reach out to Eskel in my absence, and I will be seeing you guys in a short amount of time. Hopefully, try to stay alive. Ta-ta!
Well, isn't he just so helpful right now?
Nice.
Just put the mirror away. Call
So
down. So Soren's not going to be any help. Apparently he's off plane right now.
Tanya's gonna burn any of the
Quick
supplies.
question: who read the Soren book? Who was it that was reading that book with Eskel?
I think it was Theris and I.
I do not remember. I'm sure if there was anything of knowledge and stuff like that, I would definitely have been interested.
So one item of note, because essentially it's a very weird structure the way that they are, but more or less there was an illusion that the Prime Soren had a very secure private plane outside of the confines of time. You gather if you're Soren, because you could reach across other planes, that's not outside the scope of your magic. If he's completely inaccessible, he may not just be off plane, he may be outside the scope of time right now. Which is why you cannot reach him.
Yeah, but she doesn't really know that.
Oh yeah, you don't know that. The
She
two of them
just
though,
assumed-
they book nerded out for like a good couple hours listening to all this shit.
Her assumption is that he's, out of plane in like some big important meeting or something and just not answering the mirror.
You're not necessarily wrong. But yeah. So he did say you could call Eskel if he did need help in his absence though. So what do you guys want to do? You want to head back to anything you want to do? Messages, shenanigans?
Yeah, that was as we're on our way back.
Oh, yeah. Anything else we want to do? As we're heading back? At this time, too, keep in mind, and let's see, who's leading up this pack now? Because we don't have Gronkum anymore. Who's our survival expert here? Ranger, I'm assuming?
Define
Ranger.
survival expert.
Who's got the highest survival
The Ranger.
proficiency?
Not
Go
me.
ahead and roll a survival check, Jason, because this may impact. Oh,
Well,
no.
maybe not.
Sorry.
Yikes.
So I did want to take, so it's not 3 hours to get back. So it was 8 o'clock when we left. You hit the camp about 10 o'clock. By the time we start heading back, after you inspect an inventory thing, it's about midnight. It's about 2 hours away. You're carrying your stuff, but because Jason gets lost, it takes you 5 hours to get back.
Yikes.
So you get back like as the sun is coming up, like you took the wrong turn in town on the drunken walk home. So you stroll in. As you get to town, you do see they have made
wait.
some. Yeah. Can you not get lost?
Yeah,
But are you for
something
swamp?
like that.
But for swamps,
Hold on, looking at the abilities.
I think it's for your favored terrain.
I'll also give you one of these just in case Ari just happens to notice the town while it's up in the air.
Like you're going the wrong way.
Guys, I
The
think
town
it's
is that
this
way.
way.
Oh yeah, your group can't become lost except by magical means.
But only for favored terrain.
No.
For which skill?
Oh wait, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Because you move faster, you can wall stealthy, you get a few bonuses, but it's only for your favored terrains. I think you get more than one, but you only get one.
Yeah.
And so unless you took swamp, but I'm pretty sure from your locale, you're more of a mountain boy and a forest boy and maybe plains.
Forest, mountains, and coast.
That works.
That last one I should have.
Coast, you don't really have coast in where you came from, but you've been a soldier.
Okay. Well, but I could have swamp, right?
You would not have swamp where you come from now. It's mostly plains where you come from, some mountains and forests. Because you're the central major kingdom. You're not the most northern kingdom.
It depends on where he was because he wasn't near home when he finally hit 10th level, which is what that last favored terrain is.
This would have been like the first swamp you've run into at this point.
Roger that.
It's not a very common, I'm going to say biome just because we play so many damn games, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, so it should be plains as opposed to coast.
Yeah, plains is like the like 80%. Like the number one soldier that you guys provide for like joint military operations, there have been a few, is cavalry. You guys got horses out the ass.
Yeah, well, he was raised in forest at the base of a mountain. So
the capital city of Tyros is actually the big city that's right next to the Golden Perch. They eventually, in the future, become one giant kingdom because there's no more Golden Perch. Just old.
If we're going through the night, I am going to check in with Zadak.
Okay. So while you walk back, you want to send a message? Roll your D100 because he is on a different plane. Just don't get a 96 or higher. Okay. You managed to make a connection?
Just generic. How you doing? Still alive. How's it going?
Your message makes it through, but you get no response back. So he's alive. For some reason, he's not responding to you.
Okay, that was my last spell slot that I had for that, so we'll find out what's up with that later. Concerning.
All right. So you guys make it back about 5 o'clock in the morning. What's the plan? Because keep in mind,
No, you just got him at a very inopportune moment.
From what they said, you probably got like 12 to 16 hours tops before the larger army of 2,000 makes it here. I'm assuming you need a rest. So is everyone resting? Is anyone not resting for this following day?
No, I'm gonna need to rest.
I only need 4 hours, so as soon as my time is up, I can pop up, start helping.
I'm assuming everyone's going to take a rest. I don't think
And
anyone's not.
knowing James, he'll probably be doing a lot of work before he rests, and then his Warforged, he only needs to like sit still for 2 hours or something like that.
Let me double check him really quick. It's been a while.
It's 6 hours.
Oh, yeah,
The rest time
For
isn't
Warforged?
that. Yeah, but they're still alert during rest.
Mm-hmm. And he did blow a lot of his stuff
I
too.
thought
So.
Warforged was only 2 hours.
No,
I mean,
it's
I
only
could be
6
mistaken.
hours.
I've not played a Warforged. But...
Yeah, I played one in the Evil campaign. It's 6 hours, but
Quasi-evil.
you're still awake. You see everything.
Morley Gray.
Morley Gray, there you go. That's our word.
The Warforged is evil.
All right, so I will say probably everyone at this point is going to take a long rest, so let's do that. So, Leah.
Towards the end, and...
So no one's not taking a rest, right? Like no one's staying up through the night? All right. So everyone's going to rest. So that's 8 hours for everybody but Leah, and less 2 hours for Max. So Leah, you finish meditating about 10 o'clock. Nope, 9 o'clock. 4 hours. Max gets up about 11 o'clock. Everyone else gets up about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, with those timelines, what are you guys wanting to do today? We'll go back to the other map for now.
I'm gonna find where the supplies need to be dropped. Drop the supplies off.
Tanya's gonna go look for blacksmith and alchemists.
All right, so let me just clear these markers for a second, Turkey. So as far as where the majority of the townsfolk are kind of gathering, they're kind of gathering in this square right here. So that's probably where a lot of the supplies you would probably be dropping off. Dart, go ahead for me. Roll. Just roll a general perception check.
My perception shit.
You don't see anything. You kind of talk to some people. They do mention there's a blacksmith that's located roughly around here on the other side of the bridge. They're not sure if he's still in town or if he's fled, but if he is in town, that's where he'd be.
And anywhere, where do they get like oil for their lamps and stuff?
They don't use lamps. Some of them do, but those are the more rich people. These guys mostly use torches and candles.
Aren't torches like some kind of stuff put on them?
They have their basic oils. They don't have a lot of it. They don't even have like, it's not like public lighting. People light their own stuff. So it's maybe some shopkeepers. You can check in like a general store though.
Torches and candles.
They don't necessarily. If you
candles would be mostly used for inside.
If you want to find a big stockpile of oil, your best bets are kind of being in more industrial areas or probably the fucking rich people.
Yeah, Tanya's gonna make a trip to the rich people's houses.
The rich people are that one up in the top. That is where the 200 soldiers are guarding that compound also.
That's where Jason's going.
Yeah, Tanya's gonna go with Jason then.
So that is. Well, here's a good question. So, does everyone want to go there, or what's everyone else doing?
It depends person when they're going. Are they going like as soon as we get back to town, or are they going?
No,
After
like
we
everyone's
wake up.
rested at
Place
this
crash.
point. So at this point, Leah wakes up first. Max wakes up second. Then all of you wake up about 1 o'clock. So your day is yours to spend. Other than that, any way you wish. But so we lost about 8 hours at this point, and we'll give a few people a little bit more. But you have about 4 to 8 hours left to plan for this pending attack. You're not quite sure.
I'll be swapping some spells out.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
make
idea.
sure you pick your spells for the day.
Now, is the attack supposed to happen today, or how far out are we? Do we?
You are. What did I just say? I forget now.
I did
So we did 8. So it was 12 to 16. So 4 to 8 hours. Great.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we need to evacuate the townspeople, release those that don't wish to stay and fight. We need to rally all the soldiers, both the trained and the militia, and we need to set up the battlefield.
You're not gonna want to evacuate the villagers till an hour or two before they get here, because the villagers can help with prepping the battlefield.
True, but the longer
Not
they stay
those-
here, the greater danger.
Yeah, not the villagers that are unable to fight. Those need to be sent away.
And you also need to
ASAP.
figure out where you want to send them to.
Cross manner.
Cross manner.
So the
Oh,
graveyard is
fallback
1 hour.
position.
Cross Manor is 2 hours. So those are the other closest locations. The river crossing, which you couldn't do at this point anyways because it was earlier this morning. The only other route, which probably wouldn't work regardless. You do have the ferry,
All right,
but
so
unfortunately the ferry is southwest of the town, so it could potentially already be able to run.
Wait, are we
Yes, I
evacuating
can
or are we
gather-
fighting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to be fighting. We're evacuating
Both.
the people.
The
Well-
women and the children and those that are unable to fight.
I'd just like
So
to
the
remind
old-
everyone they have 2,000 and siege equipment. We have maybe a couple hundred capable bodies.
You
Wait,
have
you and
80
I should be able to get a lot of people out. We can both do teleportation circles, can't we?
Yes.
You taught Def the teleportation circle that was close to where Gray's kingdom is, or south of there. It's like a magic academy.
Yeah.
Say
around
we
there.
used one to get to that near
Or-
that temple,
so
didn't
you-
we?
You have that, and you have the one at the Golden Perch.
Whichever one's the safest and can hold the people.
Golden Perch is technically the largest, but also the more sacred and secure one. If you do want to send people there, it probably would be a good idea to let Eskil know that you're sending people there.
Well, somebody can deliver that message with the first people through.
Or a
I
message.
can. Yeah, I think I can get a hold of Eskel. If
So
we
how-
want to send people there.
So how deep's the river then?
Which point?
The main river that's separating the town and the outlying.
It varies at different points. Which point specifically?
Is there any point around this river other than the bridges that they can cross?
I mean, it depends what they're doing. They could swim. I mean, they're not going to walk across this river. It's deeper than that. Yeah, other than that, you're
What's
100% sure.
what's the shallowest point in that river?
The shallowest point in that river, how much time do you want to spend looking at this river?
No, questioning the town's people.
Basically what you gather, like the shallowest point in this river is probably like 15 feet. So no one's walking through this river.
Hey, Leah, do
Yes.
you have any really long range spells, like, say, Fireball or
Oh,
anything like that?
I left something out before you get to that point, people. I left out something. I'm so sorry. As you woke up for the day, it's a little bit colder than normal.
I hate you.
Leah, as you
Wait.
walk outside, because you wake up 4 hours before everybody else from your meditation, you open the door to snow.
Huh?
There's probably about 6 inches of fresh snow that has landed on the ground here.
Has it ever snowed here before?
You ask around?
Okay.
Roll an Arcana check
Conga might be
or a
nearby.
Perception check.
All of us, or?
This is just when she wakes up.
Oh,
It's
okay.
global
I guess
warming.
ignore my roll.
Sleeping.
It's fucking cold.
Okay. That's unsettling. Alright.
All right, and the rest of you notice this as you wake up too. Now the rest of you can roll when you wake up.
Okay, 3.
And what am I rolling?
Cold?
It's fucking cold. For you, Ferris, Arcana or Perception? Tanya, Ferris, Jason. You guys look. Ferris, actually, most of you, Tanya, you wouldn't know this area very well, but you do notice other things. You look. There's about a 5-mile wide, dark black cloud that just is coming thickly from the north in a straight line south. You kind of look off past it and you can see to the edges outside of the radius of this. It's like almost spring-like weather off in the distance from what you can see.
Do I have any idea what could be causing this, or what kind of spell effect?
It's some higher level of control, like some sort of control weather spell, but a very long-range variant.
So, the snow is interesting.
Unsettling.
Do you think it's them, or do you think it's someone else?
No idea, frankly.
Does the weather really change what we need to do today?
Well, if it's by them, then they're going to be ready for it. If it's not by them, it may slow them down and cause them problems.
Can we do anything about the weather? I'll take that as a no. We should get prepared because
Not
we have very
as
little
large as
time
that
until we have
Maybe.
2,000 orcs riding down our throats.
Certainly makes the river a little bit colder, though.
Has the water started to freeze?
No. The water is not starting to freeze. The water moves kind of quickly out towards the center. You do notice one tiny area, though, that seems to be obscured from this magic. You look out towards the lake. You see at the center of the only landmass out there, bright and sunny.
Of course.
The Hag Island.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Hey!
Jason, that's just
Let's
crazy.
bring everybody there, especially the children. Fun for the whole family.
Are there any?
Big sign just appears on the island. Bring your children here. We'll protect them.
Free beer.
Okay,
Mia,
so who's
do you have any-
organizing the townspeople, and who's organizing the soldiers?
Well, I can gather the townspeople to a centralized location so we can talk to them all at once.
Takoya can help with that.
Okay.
I'll put you guys on the map. So here's Takoya. I'm just going to put a crew down here real quick.
Also, Mia, do you have any long-range spells, like Fireball?
Not in particular.
Because I was thinking there might be a way we can deal with that siege equipment.
Unfortunately, I'm more of a close range fighter, but I mean, I can. If I
Oh,
get close enough, I
and-
can hit hard.
Jasper's here too.
Jasper.
You see Jasper kind of like walking down the road. You guys come? Hey, you guys are back.
Hello,
Is the prince
Jasper.
with him?
No, he is not.
Where is the prince, Jasper?
Jasper?
I gave him to that one guy.
Be more specific, please.
Yeah, that guy.
All right. Well, that's
Said that you sent him to pick up a VIP, and he saw the little boy, and he said that he was going to take the little boy. So I let him have the little boy.
okay, Jasper. You did very good, but next time, when someone tells you that they want to take your little boy, maybe think a little critically about that. Maybe second guess yourself. Because what if that was
But the little boy said he knew him.
you
In
know
fact,
what?
he looked really happy to go with him.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, looks like the cult's getting crossed back.
Yeah. Oh well, it's too late now. Nothing we can do about it.
Nothing we can do.
I mean, he said he was taking him back to his house. Should we just go get him?
No, we
I
need to
honestly
defend
don't care
this
that
town.
much.
Oh, okay. Are we going to kill orcs now?
Yes, but first we need to get the soldiers to help us. Jasper, you're coming with me.
Okay. He kind of pulls out his axe. He's like, this is going to be fun. He's like, we get to hurt people, right? No?
Is this intimidation work? Can
Not
I
yet.
come?
He puts axe away.
I would love to
is-
come for intimidating. Okay, perfect. I'm coming.
Okay. So that's over here.
So Ari, Takoya, and Theris are rounding up the
We're on gathering
townspeople.
the townspeople and organizing the
What are Tanya and Max doing?
evacuation.
Tanya is, well, might as well bring Max too.
Make
Tanya was
Max
going.
your assistant. You're going over that way?
Before Tanya leaves, Tanya's going to tell Theris to look for any blacksmiths or alchemists in the group of people when they gather them.
All right, then we'll have Max over here helping you. So 4 and 4.
Why do you want a blacksmith or an alchemist?
How else are you going to help fortify the town?
We're trying to get the people out.
How does a blacksmith or an alchemist help with that?
Building stuff, making flammable stuff.
Doesn't that take hours
I
to
need
do?
everybody to
Tanya wants to home alone this bitch.
roll a hearing-based perception check. Fucking shit, Mr. Nat 20. Theris got a 29 with a nat 20.
Oh man.
Theris, as you guys are beginning to prepare, you're getting people armed up as best you can. You feel this strange pull as you kind of draw your gaze south, and very slightly in distance, you boom, 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 and you start hearing the sounds of war drums coming from the south. They're probably an hour ahead of schedule. So you probably, as opposed to having the 4 hours, probably have about 3 in total.
I
No,
just
that's
cock
not
my
good.
head and look and listen intently for a second and look at everybody else. Nobody else seems to notice.
No, just you.
We have to
We
hurry.
should have never
Drums.
slept so long.
They're drums. They're close.
Technically, Jason, I think, well, it's more active, but yeah, you would kind of sit there too, Jason, and you just kind of veer off to the south, and you kind of hear the familiar beat of. You're used to dealing with orcs too, so I'd say with your ranger skills, you kind of pick up on this too. So one person in each party is like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
I'm
yell
gonna
out.
grab a drink.
Well,
Each
we
one of
have
you guys
both
point out
very
what you
fun
want to do.
hearing.
Yeah, yell out loudly for everybody. Like drums to the south. We move with purpose.
Let's get real.
Okay, the townspeople, party members, you know what we're doing, right?
We're trying to teleport as many people out here as we can.
No, we have to hold off this force as long as possible.
I thought
with
we were
as many
teleporting people out because
townspeople-
they're going to die.
Wasn't it evacuate the
We
people who
need
can't fight?
volunteers. Yeah, we're only evacuating people who cannot fight. The women and the children and the old and the infirm. Anyone else, if you can hold a sword, we need you to stand with us. We're not abandoning the town. Lord Cross said we need to offer as much time to the people closer to the capital as possible, so they have time to set up their defenses.
All right, understand that. So
Well,
I'm just
also-
Theris is only concerned with getting the kids and then the women out.
Yeah. Also, Cross is going to be arriving with reinforcements,
Here?
if I recall correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his
He's-
plan. So we need the people that are able to set up defenses, like reinforce, like take out one of the bridges, reinforce the other one, set up as many roadblocks as possible.
Well, Ari can take out one of the bridges.
AFK sec.
Also, something I was thinking at a character speaking. If we can find a way, something that we could potentially do is from high up, drop or bombard the siege equipment.
That's nice and all, but don't forget they can get you up in the air too.
Maybe.
They have wyvern riders.
True. I forgot about the Wyvern Riders.
I don't see this
That'd be
going well
potentially
for
problematic.
us. This is fun though. This is in one campaign we're attacking, in one campaign we're defending. Funny how these things work out.
I don't know.
I'm thinking we start trying to
Welcome
build some pit traps.
So what are our plans?
Well, upon hearing Theris' warning, Ari is going to start flying around, calling for everyone to meet at the town square.
Okay. Are you using any spells for this? Or you just calling out?
She will just have to. I mean, I guess she can use her minor illusion to create a higher volume.
All right.
But beyond that, I mean, her voice probably has pretty good range, so
Hold on one second.
mostly her voice. I don't have thaumaturgy.
I'm back.
Welcome
Welcome
back. In case it is relevant, here's a performance.
Ari, Ferris, and Takoya. And Max. As you guys are sitting there rallying together and getting everything prepped, kind of with the plans, organizing people, all four of you just get this strange sensation. You all just kind of look southwest.
When you say strange, is it almost like
It feels like
kind of
something's
odd
calling
feeling?
out to you. You don't hear anything, but it feels like something's like reaching out to you.
Okay. Can we get a kind of intention?
No,
Like, does it appear to be, Okay.
it's just a strange sensation.
Does it feel familiar at all?
For this, I'll let you roll an Arcana check, sure.
Nice.
3.
Or anything Theris would know or detect.
You can also roll an Arcana check. Actually, you could roll yours with advantage. For a reason. You just kind of sit there, and it feels like a distant whisper almost there. And you just kind of like close your eyes as your vision kind of takes you through the town and across the lake to the island, through the fog into the forest, and you just hear a whisper. And then you just kind of open your eyes.
Can I make out the whisper? It's just wah.
It's a female voice. It just says Theris, and then it stops.
But I don't recognize it or can put a name to it or
Roll a
anything
history
else.
check, we'll just see. Not this one, no.
I have a suspicion.
All right. So, let's knock out the manor, because I have a feeling that one will go better. You guys just get a plan where you want to do shit. So you can think about all that while we're doing all this too. So, as the four of you walk up to the manor, you do see there's probably about 20 soldiers posted out front. High activity. What you guys want to do?
By order of Lord Cross, open this gate.
The kind of the guy in charge. He's like, I don't see Lord Cross.
Jason pulls out the symbol.
Let me see that. He kind of looks at it.
You are charged with protecting this town and these people. You will open this gate and provide our assistance.
It's like, whoa, ho, ho, my friend. I'm but a mercenary. But hold on, let me retrieve someone who could help you. It's like, yes, get them now. I don't care what they're doing.
Tanya's gonna
They
ask
don't
what
pay me enough for this.
Tanya's gonna ask what mercenary group.
Oh, independent.
Tanya's not from this world.
Is she not from? I don't know. I can never remember.
We found Tanya on the other plane.
Did we? I thought this was the plane. Okay.
This is the original plane. We found Tanya on the other plane.
I can neither confirm or deny any of those statements. That is all I shall say.
Too much plane hopping in this campaign.
Just one plane. All right. So after a while, I gotta get OneNote open for this too. This goes way back. All right. Let's see. You watch as walking out to the door, you see a human male. Yeah, okay. Yes, may I help you?
By order of Lord Cross, you are charged with protecting this town and its people. You will open this gate and provide us with assistance.
I believe you want to speak with the mayor. I'm the deputy mayor, Matthias Cole. Pleasure to meet you. We are formulating a plan to defend the town as we speak. Fear not.
I am not afraid. I am not the coward hiding behind the walls while its people are left defenseless.
Well, you see,
I see cowards, yes.
there's more to it than that, though. It's really hard to explain.
Cowardice is quite easy to explain.
You have to understand there's a lot of heritage we need to protect. And this location is very important.
You do realize that they are, 3 hours out? The raiding party?
This is why we're here to defend this historical site. Our histories must be preserved.
You'll defend the site, but not the people?
Well, we have told the people to evacuate. If we just simply stand down, they will pass through and there will be no issues.
If they pass through, they will go to the capital. You realize this, don't you?
Yes, but do you see cross soldiers here? Very quick to bark orders, but very slow to send aid, it would seem.
The cross soldiers are we will not be here before.
It's like,
Wait,
what would you...
the most recently returned from the dead Cross's first name?
Alistair.
Alistair Cross has recently returned. He is gathering his soldiers and he will be helping us to defend this area.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I assist? Never
No.
mind.
Jason is looking quite cross.
I just
He
starts to
looks
light
at
it.
you. He's like, so, what is your plan then?
We shall be evacuating by magical means anyone who is unable to hold a sword. Then we shall be destroying one of the bridges. So there is only one way into this town that they must use. We will set up blockades at each intersection to prevent further incursion into the town, defending each point and falling back as necessary.
Fine, very well, Captain. Take companies 2 and 3 and follow these folks. Redistribute company 1 throughout the property. Sir.
That's not enough. As this is our final position, it should have the least amount of soldiers, because the rest of the town, as well as the rest of the members of my party, who will be able to
And
evacuate
yet you
everyone.
have 2 companies, nonetheless. You have to remember, I am but the deputy.
Let me put it to you this way. Do you have a way out of here by magical means?
No.
We do. If you do not send us as many soldiers, with leaving only a handful, a squad or two behind, we will not be returning to this place, and instead to the fields to the north. That is where we will make our escape.
This is,
Anyone
Nope.
left in here will not be leaving.
we cannot leave here. It seems you do not understand that. This location is worth more than our lives, and we happily will give it to protect it. I've given you 2/3 of my soldiers, but I cannot leave this site fully unprotected.
I don't ask that you leave it fully unprotected. Only that this be our final stand.
Yes, fear not.
I would like to roll an insight to check to see if he's telling me the truth about the number of troops he has.
Sure. More insight check.
Ooh,
This is
Harold.
Matthias Holm. Let me just read my notes real quick on him.
Yeah, we don't have enough people to start below the south of the river. We have to start north of the river.
I was thinking it's better to start farther out and then fall back.
That would be better. We just don't
So,
have the people for it. Or the
interesting
trained
enough,
people.
Jason, he doesn't seem to be lying about the number of troops. However, you did catch a weird twitch when he said he did not have any ways of magically getting out of here. And there's something just oddly off about this gentleman. Can't quite put your finger on it, though.
We just burn the place down, then there's nothing to defend there, and they could send all the troops out.
Yeah, but then they'll send the troops to attack, and the townspeople will be caught in the crossfire. That's no bueno.
So you have, out of their 200, he probably sends about, I'd say he sends about 150. They'll give you 3/4 of what he's got. So he keeps 50 on site. Please follow, what's your name again?
I am Jason.
Please follow Mr. Jason and help them as they secure and defend the evacuation. All right, so you're 150 soldiers.
And I do get the feeling that they are going to let the defenders in when we fall back all the way back to this place.
You're not sure. You hope so. You get the feeling they'll defend it. So worst case scenario, you just bust your way in here and they should defend it regardless, but
And that's where all the rich people are, right?
yes. The entire town council, you could probably guess, would be within here.
Times that's if they have any barrels of oil in there.
He just kind of looks at you and says, barrels of oil. I would have to check with the steward.
And carts. Do you have any carts?
Now, most of the carts, if you're looking for carts, I would check in the stone quarries and the lumber mills. That'd be a good place to look. As far as oil, we don't have a lot of oil in the town. Although I believe the cemetery may stock more oil than, I believe he had a good stock. You should really go and speak to Edison. It's like, yeah, but you may not have the time to make that journey. It's about an hour away.
We do not have time.
It's like, well, if there's nothing else, I really do need to get back to planning
Well,
A
let me give you
response.
some information then. Within 3 hours, there will be a host of, was it 2,000, right? Not 20,000.
2,000.
2,000 orcs with flying worms, as well as a whole host of other nasty creatures headed this way.
And siege equipment.
Yes, and apparently the snow has also come. The four of you, as you're sitting there and you're talking to the guards, you watch as the water level seems to be rising and pushing up towards the wall. Like, what the deuce? You hear a couple of guards like looking out at the water.
Is there anyone in there that has
And you
magical
hear
abilities?
everybody, you don't even have to roll from it, in the sky above, quite a distance, the loudest dragon roar you've ever heard.
Well, that's not good.
Oh.
And apparently a dragon, too.
And you just watch. It looks like it's passing over. As it passes over, you watch as the water kind of freezes and rises up. Well, it rises up and then it kind of freezes. It continues past you, and then the water melts and resends back in.
So it goes over our...
Is it a white dragon?
Roll perception checks with disadvantage unless you have shenanigans, because it's quite a bit up in the air.
What about
That
Ben?
one.
Can Ben make one since he's flying around?
Oh yeah, I'd say Ben's always kind of about. Just he could roll a flat one.
Yeah, hearing
He's
and
got
sight, he
salvation.
has advantage. So
Yeah, that's why he's flat.
Is it within a mile of us?
Uh, probably within a mile, I'd say. Yeah. Ben cannot make out the color of it. No. Let's see. So the only downside for primeval awareness, though, it will just let you know that there's a dragon in the area. It doesn't really give you detailed info, and you already know that it's a dragon.
Okay, well...
Hey, that's not bad, though. It appears to be a silver dragon.
Interesting.
More importantly, is there anyone within that has magical abilities?
There are no magic users within any of these soldiers now.
Not the soldiers, within the keep. The
Oh,
manor.
from the keep?
Yeah.
They don't let you in the keep.
I'm asking the vice mayor or whatever the...
Edison?
Is-
Or not Edison. Edison's the... this is Matthias. Looks
Yeah,
like,
Matthias.
unfortunately, no. Historians, public officials, a handyman or two, perhaps, but that's about it.
Insight?
Sure. Oh my God. You get kind of a mixed response. You don't get the feeling there's any magic users necessarily within here. But you mentioned magic and you just kind of get like a weird beat from him.
Highly suspicious behavior.
If I find out when this is all over, you've kept any information from me that would have aided us, it causes more people to die, you will pay for it.
I assure you, I'll be going to visit the mayor right now to address all of your claims and your issues.
I'm not talking about the mayor. I mean higher powers.
Higher powers?
This is a small town in the grand scheme of things. This is an invasion of the entire country, the entire kingdom. What we do here today sets the tone for the war that is coming. If you, in your ignorance, have hobbled us in any way, shape, or form, you and everyone in there will pay dearly for the cost.
Kind of looks over you. He's like,
Jason turns and walks away.
Power move. I like it.
He watches. He kind of like starts walking back towards the building. But you do have the 150 soldiers walking in tow with you. So, what are we setting up?
How many of them have bows and arrows or ranged weapons?
Maybe like 50 of them have crossbows. Most of them are like shield and sword and board type folks. A couple of spears.
So, I think we need to retcon just a little bit on our earlier plan, because we're only going to both be able to use 4. If we used all of our 5th level spells, that would only be 4 gates or teleports, and that's not going to get hardly anybody out because it lasts 1 round. We can get a bunch, but not enough. So, and we're going to need those spell slots. So we've been herding everybody to the north to get out of town.
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, send them fleeing, because I'm going to need those slots for the
We're going to
shenanigans I'm
push
gonna pull.
the 400 folks and try to move them to the manor. Is that the goal?
Oh, weren't we going to keep any men?
Yeah, any fighting bodies can
There's
stay
80
and fight.
men at arms already. If you would like to recruit, who's going to... who
Women.
wants to do
Yeah,
the recruitment role?
The
Somebody
goal
needs
is
to give
Ari
a
is
route.
gathering people
Who's
to
giving the rally
center of
speech?
town, and
Yeah, I was just trying to get the women, children, infirmed, and the elderly, like heading north out of town.
Oh yeah, we'll get them too. But this is just for like getting them, maybe any of the stragglers that we could capture out of the remaining
yeah, that would
citizens.
probably be
Right.
Ari.
And I'm going to be also trying to get anybody together, any kind of gold, valuables, jewelry. I need as much as you can get piled up.
Any particular reason?
Because I'm calling for divine aid, and that doesn't come cheap.
I saw it, but
Ari's
go
probably the
ahead.
one who will be giving the speech.
All right, so Ari, go ahead. Feel free to go with your speech, and then you will do a persuasion check for essentially our ask for the public.
Okay. And her theme will be more or less trying to inspire righteous valor.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Yep. Just give me one moment. I'm going to mark down a couple of sorcery points to gain advantage on this.
Sure.
Oh, no actual speech?
Where's the speech, Ari? Speech.
You
I-
get agreed, man, to get a good speech.
I had one
Save them
prepared for later, like prior to battle, not the recruitment of people.
Aw,
Sorry,
I
we'll give
got
you
a
a chance.
recruitment for battle speech.
I have a dream. I will have a sword that pokes into an orc.
You know what? I wrote out a speech for Evil Campaign
this might be like
to
3
rally
days. You
people.
could just
You may need it next game. You never know.
Yeah. Just to be ready.
All right. Yeah, I think a 28 probably works pretty well.
Dang.
So
She's very charismatic.
as you speak, Ari, you're able to get another 40 individuals that kind of join with the men-at-arms. So that brings your men-at-arms total to 120. So you have 150 soldiers, 120 men-at-arms. You managed to rake in about 500 gold pieces in donations from the citizens and some randomly assorted gems. Probably about maybe 2,000 gold worth of gems. A few of those are smaller diamonds.
Or is there a church in the area or anything like that?
There is not a church.
Or if
here.
anybody had specifically looking for a golden reliquary worth at least 500 gold.
You could probably find one, yes. I'd say as you guys look and make a speech, you managed to find one, yes.
My deity doesn't require golden donations.
You could always pray to your god, too.
Just chipmunks.
I got a couple spells to cast that are going to cost money, and then I'm also going to try Divine Intervention.
All right. So about this point, we're like 2 hours in, or we got 2 hours left before they get here.
Jason needs to sneak off into
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna sneak off. Are we taking out one of these bridges or no?
the northern one, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, we're gonna take out the northern one, and we're gonna
The one to
Oh,
the east
wait.
or the one to the west?
the eastern one by the
Oh.
waterfall.
Who's gonna do that?
Now, does it have to be taken out, or does it have a draw that we can
Hey,
raise?
Point
Got to
of
be
order.
taken out, unless you want to just like take it apart
Oh.
and leave some structure.
Once you've
Did
gathered
we-
up and
Well, now before we do that, can it be
People.
rig it to fail as they come across and take a bunch out as they weaken it where it breaks on them?
Then we've got to split our forces and put more people to the east.
No, you rig it where
I'll
the
just
bridge
burn it
collapses and then takes a bunch out downriver.
Yeah,
I
they'll
could
flow into the other
maybe
bridge.
rig
though.
it up, take out the supports.
And did
It'll
we
take me some
guarantee?
time, but
Did we check and make sure that we got all the people from the southern area of town across the bridges?
You haven't dedicated any manpower to it yet, no? You could send some troops out.
she was flying around the town.
Flying around and going into
But she's not
buildings
gone-
and knocking on doors
Yes,
is not quite
she's
the
not
same.
gone through every single, house, ensuring that each and every person is not there due to, time constraint.
Well, if that hasn't been done by the time Jason gets back to the rest of the group, he will send 10 soldiers to do that.
Okay, so you send a couple soldiers to go checking for the stragglers easily enough.
We want to probably send
So-
50 or we're gonna want to send probably 50 or so to gather the wagons.
And do we want me to rig the bridge to collapse or just burn it down?
Burn it down, I would say.
You can burn it down. I need you to roll a D100.
If that's okay.
Eight? You're joking. You're
So as
joking.
you sit there, you watch. There's probably about 30 soldiers or men at arms kind of mixed that are gathered here at this bridge as you guys get ready to take it down. They're kind of like sitting there like, should we take out the supports? And you just kind of walk up and just snap your fingers as the bridge just like ignites in flames. You're like, the candle bright! It's the candle bright! And you just kind of hear a couple of cheers in the distance, like, ah!
I love this town.
I wish I had that
Smiling
roll for my
lady.
Divine Intervention.
And you just watch as like it takes a bit for the bridge to burn, but it burns down until there's nothing but like a couple of logs sticking out of the river from where the supports were.
Yeah, her plan was to basically a couple of points of touch of ignition, and then I think it's called shape fire. No, control flame
Yeah.
to
Oh, without
accelerate
issue.
its burning process.
Oh yeah, you light that whole fucking thing up. It inspired the guards over there. So that bridge is destroyed.
Huh? And we shall make our way back to the gather point.
How many carts were we able to acquire?
As you send them over, roll an investigation check for your people, Tanya, as you lead up those people. You're able to find between the lumberyards and the stone quarry about 30 carts.
All right, we're gonna bring them all back to town.
All right, so you bring all those back in.
Were we able? How much ammo do we have for the range people?
What you took from the orcs and what you have supplied, you have a decent stock. You probably, I mean, it really just depends on how long your battle drags out, but you feel pretty confident, at least for a day or two, that your stock should suffice as long as you can hold the line.
I still think we should have a range out in front and just fire and fall back as we go until we get back to the bridge.
Do keep in mind, the men-at-arms are not proficient in their training. They're just townsfolk. The soldiers are proficient. So keep that in mind as you distribute people.
Out of curiosity, is the population like entirely human, or are there any elves in the population?
It's mostly humans. You haven't seen any elves in this population, no.
Okay. Okay, so the bridge has been burned down. What's next?
We need to set up barriers at each one of the intersections of the paths through town.
I'll start moving boulders around.
All right.
But there does need to be a gap that can be easily filled for the front line to get through.
See what
Our
I can do.
final fallback position is the mayoral house.
I wonder if there's a way that we might be able to quickly rig up some ballista or something for those wyverns.
I don't.
Not
I
with
don't
the time
want
we
to
have, I don't imagine.
Although I.
Tanya be able to whip something up with her mechanical knowledge and stuff.
With what you have and what they have available, go ahead, roll an intelligence check for me, Tanya. With what they have available, you don't have a whole lot of time. You could probably get like one scorpion launcher rocking.
What
With
if
help with like 5 craftsmen.
How many craftsmen do we have?
6. The mayor's office had a lead craftsman type person, but he was inside the grounds.
Would I be able to get the craftsmen divided into like? Can I get the men at arms and craftsmen together and lead 5 teams?
I mean, you could get them to do whatever you want. It's just you guys got to distribute it up between what you want them to do. They're not like aptly skilled people, though.
Tiny's gonna let know I could probably get one put together in time.
And I would probably take up the rest of your time before the battle. Where do you
At
want
the very least,
to
that would
build
be
it?
what Tanya's doing during that time.
Yeah, for Tanya is correct. You also need to determine where you want to build it to. It will not be able to be moved, most likely, with this short amount of time.
What are the chances that the my Staff of the Woodlands being merged with Mabel stuff can cast any of its abilities faster than like what it's supposed to?
Like which one first?
Like Awaken, that's an 8-hour cast. But being an item, could have cast like a regular round or an hour or something like that.
Not weird. Let's see. I don't think you have the component for that, though, do you?
Well, it's being cast from an item.
But it's a consumable spell, not a focus spell.
I say that's one of the
It's
because
a
that's
thousand
some magic items function differently since it's coming from an item versus.
So if it's one like if it's like identifying, it just needs a pearl to function, but it doesn't consume it. That's not an issue. That kind of works off a magic item without needing the pearl. But for this one specifically, it actually consumes the 1,000 gold gem that it needs for the spell.
Well, you said we had several gems here. My biggest concern is the 8 hours.
The 8 hours, it would probably still be about the same regardless, but we do not have a 1,000 GP agate.
Okay.
That's kind of a specialty gem too, because I don't even think we have a diamond worth that much.
That sucks. I was hoping because it takes 5 points and I got 10 in that, to go waking like 2 big old oak trees to help out get a couple of ints.
I mean, you could look around. It says specifically a one worth 1,000 piece, or did it say 1,000 gold worth? I forget. I just closed it.
Hang on, let me look it back.
I mean, you're probably not going to find it from the townsfolk.
An agate worth at least 1,000 gold, which the spell consumes.
I mean, the only realistic you're going to have to ask someone from outside, so you're going to have to either go to these rich people and hope they have something, or you're going to have to reach out to Eskel.
Well, if it's doesn't work instantaneous, if it still takes the 8 hours as a spell, we're not going to have time. So.
Yeah, no, it'd still take the 8 hours regardless too. So
yeah,
probably
that was the biggest concern there.
Yeah, but your only source, I mean, unless you want to reach out to other people, I don't think. So the downside is Leah came into the party after you met a lot of the people at the Delve. So Leah never met anyone who was in the Delve competition. So any of those allies, Leah can't reach out to, and William is not here. So your only real options for support is anyone you guys can think of that you know or have an object that belongs to them, or Eskel. So we knocked down a bridge. We armed. We tried to train some people. So we'll say we have about an hour left. What do you guys want to do?
Real quick, I want to...
What are you guys doing?
Go ahead.
You can do your thing first. It's okay.
Okay. Ari's gonna try the mirror again, see if she can't get a hold of Soren.
Sure, roll a d100.
That's better. 24.
You reach out, you get the same exact message. Still off plane.
Okay, real quick.
Okay.
I want to find Decoya, and
We're at
I get a
San
free
Francisco,
scry once per
yes.
day, so I'm going to use it to scry on Kern again, give her a little inspiration, maybe.
There's
Sure. So you go to Scry on Kern. Kern, you've focused in on him, and you see he's walking in a line with a bunch of other humans all chained together, and they're kind of like slogging through the mud. Currently led by a host of orcs.
Ooh. Can I tell which direction they're going?
It's kind of hard to tell with the low fog we currently got going on with all the snow. Yeah, everything just looks like white and snowy. You do notice, though, as they go through, these humans are shivering, obviously, but so are the orcs.
Okay.
As they kind of are slogging through this now frozen slush of a swamp.
So they could be coming towards us with the prisoners. That's interesting.
All right. So are we doing all of our defenses on the northern side of the river, or are we doing anything on the south?
We are doing a couple of things on the south. Wait,
Because you got people looking for people right now, but they're going to arrive there first. So think of that.
We wanted to set up some barricades, right?
So I would say,
Mm-hmm.
how good do you want these barricades? Like, what are we trying to build for these barricades? Because some they have a couple of simple barricades already set up, like north of the bridge, like sharpened sticks, very much like Valheim spike stuff. So there's nothing built south of the bridge. So if you want to do anything there, that will be where your time would be needed, or anything further up in the town. But they only did barricades at each bridge.
we
And kind of
need
around
to-
the town square.
we need to do further into the town, especially leading to the mayor's house.
So I would say, with the amount of resources you have, you could probably do about 6 good barricades in the time you have. So feel free to pick 6 locations, north or south, where you want to put barricades. And I'm assuming we're positioning troops at the most southernmost point? Or no?
I feel we should be positioned on the outskirts and do a fighting retreat, but at least with the archers, so we can at least whittle down some of the incoming forces.
Yeah, say with the terrain, if there's enough to set stuff up to be fighting them in the southern fields, and then do a fighting withdrawal as we come through.
Because remember, the closer those siege equipment get, the more screwed we are.
Out of character, siege is not very effective against infantry. Siege is effective against walls, and that's for the most part about it.
Really, it depends on what kind of siege equipment they bring.
On the contrary,
it's not.
in
Because
the Morley
device
Grey
whiteboard
campaign,
already.
siege equipment is
The
pretty
device
good
is
against
whiteboard
troops.
You need to
You
remember
gotta think about it. Like,
the
I
Roman
suppose
army.
it depends on what they're using. But
The Roman army had tons of siege equipment with them in their legions. Ballista,
Yes, but that's
scorpions.
again. Well, ballista and scorpions are a bit different. Standard siege equipment tends to be more catapults and trebuchet. They're designed to siege.
Actually, the fun part is, and Def probably knows this, and Gronk probably knows it too. They probably already know where this equipment came from.
From Deft. It was a gift.
Yeah, that wouldn't
No,
surprise
it
me.
did not come from Deft, actually. This one is not actually Deft's fault.
It's not?
Someone got snubbed at that meeting.
Wait a minute. Now I'm confused.
So there was a financier and someone who provided arms that was at that meeting who had already been, those services had already been done. And so they kind of got the short end of the stick. Gave a nice gift, though.
I only snubbed one person, right?
You only snubbed one person, but someone didn't really get a good deal at the table. Because you already had a financier for the operation.
Hold on. I'm looking at my notes.
So artillery siege equipment's good against bunched up infantry still.
Depends. They have a bunch of different stuff. You're not sure exactly what
It
they have
can
for
be,
siege
but
equipment,
I
though.
mean,
We have the
yeah.
resources.
But when you really think about it, how accurate is a catapult or trebuchet?
How accurate does it need to be when
Who only
that
said
bunched up?
catapult and trebuchet?
The Eastern continent? No. Yes?
Bella.
Okay, as far as our resources go, you said we've only got enough to make 6 decent.
6 decent kind of like
barriers?
defensive points, yes. So
Okay.
you have 6 locations you can set up. So how this combat more or less will work, just to save on the freaking ridiculous time, we'll probably do this in waves. That way we have a shorter amount of people in the combat tracker, but we still can go through a larger combat.
Okay. And the bridges already have decent barricades? Or do we need those
One bridge has been taken down. It does have it's an okay barricade. It's pointy sticks. The other bridge has the same defenses, and it is not destroyed at this point. You could rig the bridge to blow, potentially, if you have materials or a plan.
Wait, we have explosives?
We have beads of fireball. We can rig something.
But you do not know you have beats of fireball.
True.
Actually, you don't have beats of
I
fireball.
thought you said
Those are in the
means of
quiver.
fireball.
Those are in Gronkum's quiver.
Does he still have that?
He didn't give you the quiver. He only gave you the bag of holding.
Restoration
Yikes.
Angel.
Oh, the bag. I don't even think it's a bag of holding. It's just a big bag.
Just about.
It's a really big bag.
Yeah, he still has the quiver, which is where dark stuff was.
Like a sea bag. Okay, so we're going to expend resources to reinforce the bridge barricade.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Blue
5,
ones.
6. Gotcha.
How long will it
Alright.
take? How long will it take for the soldiers to build a quick trench
Where?
on the other side of the bridge?
On the sup, right there. They could build it as part of the barricade. Gronkum kind of already set up at that location. It's close enough.
I'm thinking you put up a temporary thing for the soldiers to run back across, and as soon as they come across, they pull the wood back, so it's basically a moat.
The wood is secured, so it wouldn't pull back. You'd have to knock it down or destroy it.
Now we need to rig the bridge to collapse as we're defending that bridge barricade. So the first barricade in the southern part of the town will afford us a little bit more time Not much if they decide to just trample through the fields. So that is the most dangerous barricade position.
As everyone is prepping, you guys notice something. There is a single rider on a horse coming down this road.
It's on a road. That's a
Oh,
river.
sorry. I went too far.
Even more impressive.
There's a guy riding a horse down that road. Okay.
It's a woman.
Ah, it's Lorana.
Oh, you wish it
If
was
Ari
Lorana.
notices, she'll fly over.
So she's on the east bank. It is not Lorana. It is a woman, dark black hair, but not Lorana. Riding on a horse.
Does Ari notice, or?
Yeah, you see him approaching. You can't see who's that?
Do they have livestock?
There are some around the area.
There's someone on the other, or by the other bridge. I'll find out who it is.
So I don't know how
Chill.
simple this would be.
We should position
So,
ourselves.
I'm looking for a token real quick.
one thing though, after she's tried to commune through the mirror and it failed, she'll be pulling out her gem and placing it to her forehead, and saying, "You've helped me once to wield your power. When the army comes, would you let me wield some of it again?"
You don't get any response at the moment. But it is a warm gem.
Nods and said, "Warmer than it has been prior, or?"
I haven't really pulled it out in a while, but it's warm. Oh my god, where's your goddamn token? I have so many freaking tokens. It's always so fun. I need to remember what the name of this token is. I've had to use it.
I mean, the last time she had her hand on it was
oh no, this is a
before we
different
rested.
token. This is a different one. It's warmer.
No, I meant like the last time she had her hand on the. It's warmer.
As you speak to it gets a little
She
warmer.
nods. All right. She nods and.
Don't worry, guys. Taya's got this. She's gonna build a Gundam.
Ah, there it is. So you're going to that broken bridge?
Yep. The player recognizes who that is.
The character recognizes who it is too, because this character has met that character before.
I'm pretty sure that was Frost, not Ari.
Nope, you met her before Frost. You guys met during this campaign on the island. You're the reason she was in the cage.
Oh, right.
How did she get out?
I forgot.
Oh, wait. How'd she get in that cage? Tell me.
So, if you recall, this was one of the hags, or a human hag in the coven, that was on the island. This is Lily. Lily.
Yeah, she was the one.
With the Koya.
The.
And then you locked her in that anti-magic cage. Several different groups of people have met this individual because another campaign came through later and she was locked up and didn't let her out. And then another campaign of people came through and didn't let her out. But then, oddly enough,
to be fair, the one did try.
True. But interesting enough, at some point, someone let her out. Probably the last person to leave.
How long was she in that cage?
Months.
So she's probably not happy.
Ari, as you look across, you immediately recognize this individual. Because
Ari's put her in the cage, right?
Guinevere. Dear Lady Petite, it's been so long. Long time no see.
It
How have
has
you
been a
been?
while.
Looking good.
How you mom and him?
And
How's
you're
Jeff
looking
doing?
surprisingly free. Glares daggers towards her.
She goes, oh, well, I've changed allegiances since we've last met. I serve a new lord now, and I'm here to negotiate the terms of your surrender.
You may be disappointed, though go ahead and elaborate. Which lord do you serve now?
Well, currently I am assisting King Vuldek of the Mountains, if you can call an orc a king. I mean, we all know how orcs are. But anyways, I am now serving under the tutelage of Lord Icon. He has seen my value, and I will not let him down. So, all you need to do is step aside and let us through. And we'll be on our merry way.
Let me ask you something. Where are you headed anyways?
Well, we're going to kill everybody. These lands rightfully belong to the orcs.
Mm-hmm. All I'm going to say is, your last world-ending, plan did not turn out in your favor.
Yes, my sisters were not the most helpful, but thankfully, Lord Icon is far more reliable.
Is
They
that
still
so?
have your little dragon. I could only imagine the wonderful things they're teaching her now.
And does your lord march the battlefield today? Or does he hide back in the mountains?
Oh, that's not my lord. That's just my assignment. My lord is far more powerful than any orc.
Does the lord in question that she's referring to at all ring a bell? I
Roll
imagine not, but
a history check for anyone who wants to. You don't need a proficiency for this one.
I'm not gonna roll. I already know.
Jason's nowhere near there, so
I don't know if there's my role. If I'm nearby, if I'm not, no biggie.
Ari, at this point, because you guys have been around for a while, you hear a voice from behind you. Like, it's been a long time, Lily. I see you found a new place to annoy people. Oh, look, the Black Knight. Long time no see. How's your eye feeling? Corey just kind of glares.
similar reaction as ours.
Like, I would really like to just be done with this. I have many more people to kill. And I don't necessarily want to have to kill
If you'd like to
you
be done
all,
with this,
Sequoia.
then we're willing to accept your surrender.
You see, it's really not up to me. I'm just a worker bee, just like all of you. Unfortunately, I have many more worker bees on my side than you have on your side. And 50,000 of my orcs say that you're going to surrender.
As you know, though, orcs are not always the brightest, are they?
Ah, but that's why I'm here to make sure they do well. They're well supplied. They now listen and do as they are told. And I don't think I'm going to need much more to make sure that you are all dealt with. You could have just let me go. Could have gave me food. But no, you had to just leave like everyone else.
As I recall, weren't you the ones that sacrificed, an island's worth of children? I'm surprised you're not banished to the pits of hell like your other sisters.
Well, yes, you see, I too was a part of the coven. And yes, we sacrificed hundreds and thousands of lives to keep Lord Icon sealed on the island. Little did I know how wrong I was. If I had known sooner, I would have let him out long ago and not sacrificed so many children. But I can only move forward from here now, can I?
I suppose that you only can.
Don't worry, though. I'm here to lend my aid, so this will definitely be an interesting fight.
That it will.
Oh, and I did have a message
Don't
from an
worry.
old friend for you, too. I just wanted to pass along. And she's going to chuck something across the river, and it's going to just, bounce on the ground in front of you. She just wanted to give her best and said she'll see you soon.
I assume it's a crystal?
It is a red crystal with a little figurine that looks like you stuck inside of it.
Uh-huh. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure you'll be able to deliver the message to her personally.
Maybe.
Give her my regards.
And she just kind of smiles, and you just watch as she fades away with the horse.
I'm also not going to touch that crystal because it could very well be magic. Is Leah currently building?
What's that?
Is Leah
Yeah,
currently building?
I would have been busy barricading.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else we want to build before our final preparations?
I'm interested in this Gundam, actually. We should build a Gundam.
I don't think we have the time to build a Gundam.
It's a Gundam.
Well, I mean, not with that attitude, but we could go through an anime-style montage.
Say Gundam.
At this point, Ferris,
Yes.
you get a message. Yes, hello? Is this Mr. Ferris? This is Eskil. I just wanted to reach out and see how your expedition was going. We wanted to let you know construction is good here.
And what town are we in right now? I can't remember the name.
Morrow.
I'm gonna reply back. We're in the town of Morrow under siege. Thousands of orcs. Send any aid you can.
Roll persuasion.
I don't know how, but can I give him an advantage?
Not from where you are now.
My +1 to my
It's worth a shot.
guidance myself.
Go ahead and roll your d4.
No, I wouldn't have. That's cheese. I wouldn't have done that.
All right, so you get a message back. What's going on? What aid is needed?
Did I hear how many? Do I know what the numbers are?
You know, you've got about 2,000 coming at you right now. You know their total number is much higher, but you have about 2,000 coming down on your couple hundred right now.
Unknown numbers, multiple thousands. approaching Morrow from the south. War bands from the mountains.
Oh, orcs, I see. Let me reach out to the council. I will see if there's any local resources nearby. Hold fast. I will do what I can.
Is that something I can reply to, or is that just like the end of the combo?
You can reply to him.
I just sound like give him whatever estimate I think the time is, and we'll hold as long as we can. Evacuating women and children to the north.
All right. So, as this all begins, you hear the drums. Boom, 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 boom. Where are we placing troops? So you have 150 soldiers and 120 men-at-arms and yourselves. That's it.
As soon as I start seeing actually enemies taking the field, I'm gonna start my spells.
I wish I'd extend spell now.
As this is going on, before we pause for tonight,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see who I want to pick on here. Who would be a good captain? Yeah, I guess I gotta pick on you, Ari. After Lily leaves, you see an individual kind of walking to you through the snow, through the fog, in a blue robe.
Mm.
Very nicely designed, has like some
Let
good
me guess.
designs on it. White
Okay.
trim, some fur.
How large?
Standard human size.
How large is that individual? Okay.
Probably about like
It's not who I initially
6'1",
thought it would be.
6'2". Walks.
Okay. Are they on the other
Walking
side
through
of the bridge?
No, they're on your side. It's very nice looking
Okay.
winter armor.
Does it look reminiscent of the what is it called? The Winter Court?
On the investigation check. You're not sure, but as you walk up, you watch as the individual kind of pulls their hood back. And you see they have blue hair and half a face tattoo. You've met this individual before.
No.
This is the master illusionist from the Winter Queen team. This is Jalal.
She'll have a happy expression.
And he kind of just walks over, like,
Jalal.
holding his hands. He's like, I mean no harm. I just want to talk.
Nods.
He kind
She'll
of like
walk
does
towards
a
him.
bow. He's like, I just want to put these matters behind us. Things are too dire in the world right now. I don't want my people having to hunt anymore. We need the horn that was promised.
Last I heard of it, Max had it, but then an explosion happened. I don't know where it is currently.
Why is this Max now? We must retrieve the horn or we will not have the strength to win this battle. I can
Me
help you,
too.
but not as I am now.
I just want to clarify, which side of this confrontation are you on?
All we wish is to have our own peace, but this Sitesh individual and his followers have done nothing but provide constant headaches. A headache I don't want to
She'll
deal with
start
anymore.
walking. She'll start walking him towards the others. Which
So you guys watch
Sitesh?
as we'll say all of you are together for the most part, as other than Ari and Leah, as you watch as Ari walks up with Jalal. Which Sitesh? The and he describes Deaf Sitesh. I don't trust that individual. He's playing at something. I don't know what he wants. But he's killed many of my friends, and we tried to make peace, and he killed another of my friends. And I'm done trying to make peace, but I don't have the power to fight them as we are now. If we don't get the horn back, we are all going to lose.
I need you to promise me something, though, if you can. Make sure Deft is not harmed.
He says, I
Do you
swear.
remember Deft?
I do remember Death. The last time I saw Death, they were killing my friend. But I believe Deft is a victim much like everyone else.
I have heard that he's not in a great spot right now. Those that
Many
wish to
things
help
have
him are
happened.
trying to.
He's like, I understand you were at the capital for the incident. He kind of describes the report of Aragorn when he'd spoken with you during the major assault for the wizards. There's something at work here that is not right. We have no desire to spread to your locations. This individual has gone out of his way. He even placed an obelisk in our territory as a direct insult.
I do want to find out more about why he's doing what he's doing as well.
I would be happy to help you. But you must understand, our power is limited without the horn. The queen is sealed beyond her icy barrier, and we do not have the power or soldiers to fight back against this.
She nods.
Am I there?
I do understand.
Everybody but Jason and Leah, yeah.
Do you trust her, or Ari?
I'm gonna go ahead and just give an insight here.
If you want to trust her more, I can help with that.
Truthful and honest.
Do you want to make sure of that?
Truthful and honest are two different things.
He seems to be very honest in his intentions. He does not seem to like these forces, and they do in fact seem to be a very big issue to him as well.
I do trust him. If you want to make sure, though,
I cast Zone of Truth.
Several people at ease.
Okay, I'll cast Zone of Truth then. Ask whatever questions you want. You have 10 minutes. He has to answer honestly.
He goes, to be fair, and you watch as he kind of flickers. It's like, your spell will not work on me. I am still in the north, but I did want to be honest with you.
Okay, would I have known he was an illusion first?
He's a very good illusion.
Would I have known that?
Roll an Arcana check or an investigation check.
That wouldn't have wasted a spell if that's the case.
For sure. natural one. So-
Nope, then I would have used it.
But he does still tell you that after the fact. It's like, I have never not been on your side. But you have to understand how important this horn is to our people. This is our
I
hope.
do. It's just been unfortunate luck thus far in terms of retrieving it.
If I can return this and free the queen, I can see that these people are dealt with.
Why was your queen sealed away?
He kind of looks. She was sealed away a long time ago by an opposing civilization. I don't know many of the details myself, but we had lost a great battle. And her court were sealed behind an icy barrier for all eternity.
Nods. I do trust you. I'm just, of course, as I'm sure you understand, worried that, especially if it's unknown why she was sealed.
But
When mighty powers conflict,
perhaps I can
it is often those in the middle that suffer the most.
fetch someone who could explain this better for you. And hold on 1 second. You just kind of watch he close his eyes.
While you do that, I'll inquire with Max.
Go for it. So he goes that. I'm just looking for one specific.
She'll ask if Max, has the horn still.
It's like, oops, sorry. Where did that go? Hold please. Right there. Okay. So he sits there, and as you watch, another image appears. Older human, probably in his 50s from the looks of it. Longer, dark hair. Roll a history check really quick for me, Ari.
Mm-hmm.
This guy looks really familiar. Greetings, young one. I am Matthias.
Hello.
Incredible. This red.
Matthias.
I
You look familiar, but I'm having difficulties placing the name.
I'm our queen's oldest follower.
Matthias. It's him.
I've come here to lend whatever information I can to assist you to understand how important this quest is for us.
She nods.
I personally have
Something
been
that I've been
pursuing this
wondering.
not conquest, this goal for at least 100 years.
You've been in service for quite a while.
Those of
Something I've
us
been wondering ever since
who are still
it was
behind the
asked of us to
barrier
help.
age slower than the others.
Something I've been curious ever since we've been asked to help find the horn is, why were you all sealed away?
We had fought another nation near us. We'd thought we could defend ourselves, and we were strong, but their magic killed us and our allies behind a barrier. Those that remained barely had the strength to survive. Those of us, I came after this, but those of us who did manage to live fled through the barrier. You see, we can come and go freely, but our queen and all of our allies are permanently banished beyond the wall forever. I've been working
this
these many
Hornwell,
years trying to find a solution to this very problem so I can be free and return to my family.
and the horn will break this barrier?
The horn will break the wall and the barrier, yes.
Speaking of family, where are you keeping Gronk and Matthias?
Oh, it's
Huh?
$24.
Spill.
I have no idea.
Does Leah ask that? Because,
No,
I mean,
I'm
Leah
not
knows
there.
Gronk is missing.
I'm not there.
Okay.
Leah doesn't know either. Only Death knows. Oh no, because you got it from the vision. That's right. Yeah. Oh no, that's
Yeah,
just
we know he has
That
something to
wasn't
do
Leah,
with
that was
snow.
That was just from Gronkum's vision. That wasn't Leah.
I know.
Bloodshed.
It's not character knowledge. It's just player knowledge, and I hate it.
Wait, I mean, the characters know that Gronkum is somewhere snowy.
Oh, well, they know he's somewhere snowy, but as far as the Matthias piece, only Gronkum. That was Gronkum's cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't know specifically that much. Well, I mean, I'm actually just learning that now, but we don't know. This particular individual knows of him.
And he just kind of looks.
But no, that inquiries to Gronkum was coming up then.
He just kind of looks over to you. I believe there's many more moving pieces to this equation than you and your allies realize.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
And he kind of looks about. You do not have the strength in the north to suppress these orcs. He does kind of look like that guy. Odd enough. Jason, roll a history check here.
Well, Jason isn't there, but okay.
You guys may have wandered back at this point. They've been talking for a while.
No, Jason's going to stay on watch at the southernmost barrier.
Okay. And they just kind of look at all of you. We don't have a lot of people anymore. We have magic. It's strong. We are far away. But we can lend aid. Much like my friend has told you. We can lend some degree of aid to this conflict here. But we really do need
I
the
assume
horn.
you'd be willing to aid us in. Unfortunately, we don't have an answer from Max yet as to whether or not he still possesses it.
He does. For sure. I know he has it.
And you're willing to help us in the coming conflict?
Yes.
Not just this one, but for the fate of Arcadia?
We will help you with this Satesh individual. Yes.
Yeah, but it really falls down to.
That's it.
He does.
Okay. I ask something of you as well. Under Satesh, there is a man by the name of Daft. I wish for him to be unharmed.
He kind of sits there for a second, and he looks over at Jalal, and Jalal's like, the
He's
tiefling.
very dear to me.
Like the tiefling. With that? No, not that the other one. Oh. Yes.
She'll conjure an image of Daft based on what she last saw of him as well.
Like, I've heard of this one, yes.
He's very dear to me.
I have not seen this one as of late since the conflict at the capital. But if I see him, I will make sure to be lenient. You hand the horn over to Matthias? Or do you hand it to
And
the wall?
Max said that he was willing to hand it over.
That's a good question.
Oh, there's 2 images.
One's Matthias, one's the wall. Who do you give it to?
Chill, I guess, hold it out towards them.
They just kind of look at each other for a second. I have to roll dice for this. Matthias kind of like motions forward to Jalal, and he watches Jalal go ahead and grabs it from you. We greatly appreciate this.
And we appreciate the aid you're willing to provide us. I'm glad that this will help end the suffering to your people. We're giving the horn back to the Winter Court and finally wrapping up that mission.
You watch as you give the horn to Jalal. He lifts up the horn and blows this loud, resonating horn blow. And you just kind of watch as he sits there after he finishes, and he just waits for a second. And then he just looks at peace. And that's where we'll pause for tonight.
This is where we find out that the horn is actually just a mass suicide pact. They've ended suffering for their people by.
No, we're so screwed.
So screwed.
Oh.
Yeah, as soon as he appeared, I was like, oh no, they don't like us. And then I remembered, oh no, we have their horn. Oh no.
Hold on. Let me clarify. Which side is worried?
Gut reaction was, oh no, they don't like us. And then I remembered that we're playing the nice people. And now I'm worried.
Because someone snubbed them at the meeting. In fact, out of all the people at the meeting, only one person got so horribly snubbed that they walked out of the meeting.
We were very mean to them.
They picked
positive note. Daft will be unharmed. Positive note. Ideally.
So somewhere in the north right now, a wall of ice is breaking. And a very beautiful woman is walking through with her army of ice giants.
Oh man.
The Joe
This was Game of Thrones. The wall has fallen.
The Winter
Queen is coming.
Is back in the world. But yeah, we'll pick up there next week.
It's screwed.
So
we have a guy who likes fire, and now we got a girl who likes ice. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Also, a girl who likes fire.
Everyone suffers.
And a little girl who likes fire. This will be interesting. But yeah, we'll do this.
Obelisk. You
no,
can't
they attempted to. They attempted to, remember? They failed.
Talk smack about.
Oh, they hate the obelisk because the obelisk basically, so there's a town in the north, they built an obelisk to piss off the Winter Queen. It basically turned like a 10-mile radius into summer in the middle of like a frozen area. Very close to their...
Yeah, I can imagine how that would be problematic.
It's really funny.
They were a little pissed off. They actually sent some of their people to go destroy it, but apparently the obelisk is not as weak as one may think.
Well, again, positive note, at least a couple of them have given their word that they're not going to bring harm to Daft.
It's true.
I'm super screwed. I've just got to feel. I killed one of their friends. They're not too pleased with me.
You killed their dragon.
I killed their dragon. Not single-handedly, to be fair.
This is true.
I participated. I'll own up to that.
Let's see. You killed Gajeel. He died. I don't think anyone else died on their side. Oh, the other guy died, but he died like fair and square. Mr. What's it? The knight that Theris has.
And the Hydra.
Yeah. Just the one.
It took me
Just
a
the one
second.
dragon.
Sir Edward.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yo. Yikes.
There's one other interesting thing too, but I'll tell you later too, because you know, but I don't want to. Yeah. I believe
I
Arcade is
trapped
very,
that
very,
theory.
very screwed.
I mean, Arcadia is caught in the middle of two superpowers. Yeah, I mean, you know.
You have to remember though, Arcadia itself does have its own structure.
And the positive note is one of the superpowers is on Arcadia's side, and as far as I know, does wish to help.
Technically,
I don't think so.
you have to remember that Arcadia is not one nation at this point. So Gancaster is just one nation in Arcadia. It's not one of the 5 major nations. So they're not allied with Arcadia, they're just allied with you guys. So one tiny itty bitty kingdom.
Fair.
So we have a northern power, we have a new southern power, and then we have all the
And
other
let me
ones. But like
They're on Gancaster's side.
they're still like another.
Technically, we're all on Gancaster's side.
So there's an Arcanum. So that is a high-level wizards guild that's kind of like spread throughout the world that deals with things like this. Soren's a member of that as well.
Satoshi was a member of it.
No, that's a different order.
Oh, different one. Okay.
That's off plane. This one's on plane.
Gotcha.
So they have people about. But yeah, there's actually there's some interesting. There's a lot of other people out there too. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yes, you got to meet Gronkum's great grandpa. Great. How many great swords is that, Gronkum? 3?
A lot.
So many.
Ooh,
Hold on,
Gronkum.
I'll look
You
it
want to
up.
know what Gronkum's up to? Roll a D100
Yeah.
if you're still in the game.
At the beginning of next session, I gotta remember to ask about Gronkum.
So you just kind of are alert. You don't really know who you are, but you're hunting. But you're not hunting alone. You're following around this weird individual. He's smaller than you, but he helps you. He helps feed you, and he helps you gather food. So you've learned to kind of develop kind of a trusting bond and a dependency. And you work together to hunt. And you kind of just hunt in the wilderness for, a couple days on end before you kind of return back to where Matthias would be. They're very kind, very patient with you as they kind of try to teach you stuff. You're still under the effects of your feeble mind. Roll a perception check real quick. God damn it.
Good roll.
What was that?
Nat 20.
As you're
Is it
sitting
20?
there with this individual, they're a bigger human than you would typically see for a human. They look really familiar. Roll a history check with advantage. I don't remember what Gronkum's modifier was.
For what?
Pretty sure it's the same.
For history, it would be -5.
So, this guy looks really familiar to you. You feel like you can trust him. You don't feel like he's going to hurt you, but you're not sure why he looks familiar. You get familiar with him. This individual, while you wield a spear, you have a long bow and an axe. This individual wields a strange-looking hammer that flies around and returns back to him. He speaks. You don't really speak. He doesn't remember where he's from either. You very vaguely understand him. From what he basically tells you, he remembers being in some fight. It's the last thing you remember. Some big, ugly, black-winged creature with an arm made of crystal. And that's the last thing he remembers. But he finds comfort in you, and you spend your free time together when you're not doing other work.
Evil.
Hold on, I gotta laugh for that.
Here it goes.
You know where he got picked up from, right? You know who that is, I'm assuming at this
Is that
point.
the guy Grunkum
Yeah.
dropped?
You remember where you left him? With Yavos.
Ooh. Oh,
All
Yeah.
alone and unobscured.
Mm-hmm.
So he also seems to be suffering from memory loss. But he can at least speak and is more coherent than you are.
I'm starting to think this memory loss is genetic.
They're not related. This was the guy that
This is the
was
roommate.
part of the whole. Yeah, when we went to the festival for that drinking and slaying of some
it was like the
creature, when you had to
parade
keep
run.
all your alcohol.
Yeah, you like run up to the top of the mountain peak, keeping as much alcohol as you can while killing random like gnolls and kobolds and whatnot.
Trying to get the biggest kill.
Yep, the biggest and best kill, which he did not apparently get.
Unless you count his intellect.
But now I'm really curious. This is going to be interesting now that we've turned the cup over. This changes many things. All right.
I'm gonna
I'm
call.
going to go think about that. I'm going to go to sleep too. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody. Catch y'all next week.
All right, sleep well, Nobel.